Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Mko salama? I've seen, first of all, that you keep time. So well done. Because I've done trainings like this and you start at 12 and people are ready and that's when they're going. So well done, first of all, for keeping time. And we are going to get started immediately. Financial freedom in retirement. What is financial freedom? What is that? What is financial freedom? Vile unatumia pesa yako, unajipanga. So it's about planning. I like that. Very good. Kujipanga na pesa. The other things I don't know. Like at least money, we'll talk about money today. So our mission at Centonomy is to shift mindsets, the way that we think, so that we can create wealth and live abundantly. Now, here's the thing that I've realized. After talking to people about money for many years, I've done this now over 10 years. Wealth and the abundant life are not the same thing. Have you seen people with money and they are sad? Have you seen people with money and they are not happy? Have you ever seen people like that? They have money but they have no peace. In fact, they're always on their phone wondering who's chasing them. Isn't it? In fact, even unhealthy. Isn't it? Wealth and the abundant life are not the same thing. There are people who have all the money in the world, but no happiness, no peace. Their children don't come to see them. In fact, they don't even have children. Is that what matters to you is what we're here to talk about. Because the money should facilitate the abundant life. Now, I'm not here to say money is not good. Money is good. Hey! Money is a good thing. See, it helps you in life. But is money everything? So what do you want? Do you want just money and no happiness? Money and sickness? Money and happiness. That's what we're going to discuss today. So, somebody who's purposeful is somebody who thinks, who prepares, who plans, anajipanga vile ulisema. Somebody who's purposeful. They think, they move forward, they are planning. Even now, because it's not that we are stopping at this moment. We are going to move forward. So I'm going to ask questions. And now that the pen has come, you are going to be able to write down and have some ideas that we're going to work through. Okay? So, what next? What am I going to do? See, these are the questions that we're asking ourselves. So what next? So we're going to let's answer them now, even as we go through. So first question there. What matters most to you? What's your priority? Write it on that piece of paper in front of you now. Since you have a pen, if you don't have a pen, don't worry, one is going to find you just now. How many of us don't have pens? Even me have pens. We shall lend them. Hopefully they'll come back. I want you to put on a piece of paper in front of you so that you don't forget. Has everyone got a pen yet? Good. Right now, if you are asked in your life, what matters most to you? What is the most important thing? Write it down on that piece of paper. The most important things. For me, if I was the one to be writing, is my faith in God, number one. Then my family. And in my family, there's an order. My wife first, then the children. Because my children are going. My children will live. In fact, this year, it's so good that you've mentioned that we are all heading towards retirement. This last year is when my firstborn went to high school and the house became so quiet. I was like, hiya, you mean these people are going to leave us? My children are going to leave me, but they're in that order. So which things are most important to you? Write them down. That first thing, what matters most to you? Is it your faith like me? Is it your family? What is it that matters most? Is it your health? Is it your community? Is it your reputation? The way people see you? What are those things? I'm not putting words in it. I want you to be the one to write. What matters most to me? What matters most to me? I'm giving you some ideas. For some, when you're put under pressure, sometimes you don't know what to write, isn't it? I'm just giving some ideas. Eh? Is it your house? Is it that farm? What are the things that matter most? Karibu, karibu. Welcome. Wherever you want to sit, sit. You're going to sit there, no problem. Okay, stop. On that list, how many people wrote money? Did anyone write money? One person at least wrote money. What did you write as far as money is concerned? Financial control, financial resources. But you didn't write money. You wrote that you need some things that are able to control. Anyone else write something close to money? You see, it's not number one.
Number two is create wealth.
Create wealth. No problem. Good. But I want you to keep that in mind even as we have all these discussions. Because as I said at the beginning, the money facilitates the life that you want. It's not the other way around. Because what we have seen, can I show you what I mean by this? All of us, see, we have seen how gambling has grown in this country, isn't it? Gambling and the lottery. Have you seen how it has grown? Have you asked yourself, how come? On the list, every time they publish, the list of the most wealthy people in this country. How come we never see one of those persons saying, I won my money in the lottery or gambling? Have you ever seen that? Why? Why do people, when they gamble or they take the lottery and they win? So you've seen those, nimeshinda, 100 million. 10 years after that, that person is found back in the village. Why? Because they never actually understood how to manage money. And this is very important to us here in retirement. Why? Because there's a likelihood that you might receive a check that you have never seen before. Let me tell you, can I tell you a short story? We were training at National Bank. They called us. Why? Because they had just done retirement training like this, but they did it for maybe 1 hour, and they told people, your pension is going to come, you're going to receive this, your gratuity, golden handshake, what. And people who had been working there for 20 years plus, 30 years plus, somebody received a check for 15 million shillings. They have never seen 15 million shillings in their life. What did they do? Everyone in the plane to Dubai from their family. Seriously. They went for a trip to Dubai, and in one trip, they spent 1.5 million shillings. Of the 15 million they had received, 10%. They did not understand that this 15 million was supposed to take care of them for the next 20, 30, even up to 40 years. But they used 10% of it in one trip. That's why we were called in to come to that place. The same way that people who win the lottery, nimeshinda, you never see them again. Why? Because they have never learned to manage money. And what we have learned at Centonomy is this. If you cannot manage 100 shillings, I assure you, you cannot manage 100 million. You can't. You think it's hard to spend 100 million shillings? Do you think it's hard? You can buy one thing with 100 million shillings, a watch. And then you'll be able to tell time, what will you eat tomorrow? Can you eat anything tomorrow? No. So let's talk about it seriously. So on that list that you have in front of you, you've listed what matters most. Draw a line now underneath that. We do something else. I want you to list outside of your job, what do you normally do? When you're not working, what do you normally do? Just draw a line and say, outside of my job, what do I do? Mwakenya tena. I go to church. Yes. I go to the club. I meet with my extended, I travel up. What are those things that you do outside of your job? Maybe you have a biashara somewhere. Maybe you have a small business somewhere that you're supporting. Outside of your job, what do you normally do? Put it down. And this one is very important, especially for us men. Let me just tell you this, because I've been training retirees for a long time. Men are the ones who struggle the most. Because what have you been doing for the last 30 years, 40 years, even up to 50 years of your life? At 6 in the morning, what do? You wake, you dress, and you do what? You go. Where are you going? To work. You work the whole day, and then you come back home, and the system happens again. So outside of when you get into retirement, where are you going? You wake up to go where? Do you know? Do you have a plan? Where will you be going at 6 in the morning? In fact, there's a friend of ours, he just used to wake up and just go. He didn't know where he was going. Because of the habit of just, you wake up at 6, you are awake. Everybody else is still sleeping. You dress and you go. You don't know where you're going. So now we're going to start answering those questions. And it's important. Can I hear some of those things that you do when you're outside of work? Let's hear. Like what, sir? What do you do?
Business.
Which business are you in?
Selling millet.
Selling?
Millet.
Millet. Hey, we're going to talk about that just now. What do you do, sir, outside of work? In fact, farming. It seems like farming is an important thing to all of us here. Very good. What do you do, sir, outside of work? Farming everywhere. Hey, anyone does something else other than farming? Yes. What do you do, sir? Farming. Anything else? So we'll try and talk about farming a little bit even as we go. That's a good point. What do you do outside of work?
Yeah, so I do farming, caring about workers.
Very good. Excellent. I'm very concerned. In this country, we are generally religious people. Do we go to church? Okay. Okay. Or to the mosque? Where do you? On Sundays? Yeah, you do on Saturdays as well, yeah? Okay, good. Why I'm saying this is because don't worry. If you are like a Presbyterian like me, they are waiting for you to retire so that you can become chairman. You can join. They have been watching you. They are just waiting. And those are important things. Because let me tell you, your experience, your work, the time that you have spent, other organizations like the church need you. Other organizations like your circles need you. Other places that you have been functioning, they need you. So this is a good time to start building those networks because they'll keep you very busy. And those skills and the abilities that you have, let me tell you, they make such a difference in the organizations that you're thinking about. So good. Okay. I hope I've added a few more thoughts to the things that you can be doing outside there. Let's do some more. What have you always wanted to do? See, like that guy of National Bank, which I told you after he received his check, where did he go? To Dubai. He had always wanted to go. So write it now. Before you get to the place, before you receive your check, I want you to write, what have you always wanted to do? So you measure it. What have you always wanted to do? Now that you will have time, what are you going to do? Now that you'll have time, what have you wanted to do? That farm, you've wanted to go, and now there are some things you've wanted to build, some machinery you've wanted to buy that's going to help you on that farm, since most of us are doing farming. What are those things? Write them. What have you always wanted to do? What have you always wanted to do? I've seen people retire and buy a Nduati. They have always wanted to have a motorbike. Yes. We were doing a training in GC. That was their first purchase. Because this will guide some of the decisions we are going to make along the way. This will guide some of the decisions. Then I will challenge us even as we go. What have you always wanted to do? Sawa, let's get some responses. Excuse me, sir. What have you written there? What have you always wanted that you've been waiting? Now I'll have time.
To continue kuweza kupata nafasi ya kupanua biashara yangu.
Very good. Na biashara ni aina gani? Farming as well. So everyone is farming. Good. Kupanua aje?
Niongeza.
Very good. So you have land.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're growing what on that land?
Maize.
Maize. So there's some places you have not been able to do and you want to do more.
Yeah.
Good. What have you been thinking?
Kufungua kama training school.
Training school ya nini?
Training school kama ni ya watu insurance, kama ni watu wa computer.
I like that. That's a new business. Have you done it already? Not yet. Bado. Very good. Yes, sir.
I think this is the right time now to concentrate mostly on farming. Because I have time.
Where is that farm? Where is home? Siaya. How often have you been in that farm?
I have done it for quite some time.
But in a year, like when you're working here, how often do you go to the farm?
I always do it even when I'm here.
Even when you're here. But when do you go? That's what I'm asking to Siaya.
When I go,
Yeah. Like once, twice, how many times?
I always go there, not less than 5 times.
Not less than 5 times. So how many times do you intend to be there now?
I'll be there fully.
Full time. So now, here's one of the things, especially those who are thinking now it's full time, I will be there. This is a good time to start building the networks with people around there. Because one of the things about living in the cities, wherever you are, not where you are at home, is that you lose networks. You know, here is where all the people know you. You know your friends, you know who is the good guy, who's the bad guy, who to borrow from. So this is a good time to start making that investment because you're thinking, that's where I'm going to be full time. Yes, sir.
Myself, according to what we are talking about there,
Yes.
I invested in lands, buying lands. So in those lands, I think I will just put rental houses there and also and whatever we found there. Second,
So,
hotel
rentals.
and barbers.
That's what you're thinking
So
about.
my area is just between Tanzania and Kenya. And within the border. So at the border there, the best thing that I have chosen there is the hotel.
Hotel. Very good.
And the rental house.
Very good.
Although I've not begun to do that, but I have prepared the lands
You're ready.
for that. Yeah.
So I'm going to show you what they will do for you so that you can plan. We will do the maths today, how much those rentals will pay you. Yes. And the business as well.
And I keep in the two that ndio nimeinvest kwa hizo. But I have not invested into my own house when I retire, go to sleep. But that one is clear that I will do it.
Good.
Because I have the confidence that I will do it.
You will do it. So the house is not there yet.
Kulingana na neema ya Bwana.
Good.
Ile niko nayo is the normal one, you know, the one we feel that.
Yes.
Isipokuwa niliona kama nilitereza kidogo, I built in the house, in the town, I left home. But
we are going to talk about that just now. Last one. And this one I want you to write in detail. What do you... Okay, yes, please.
Let me complete something.
Yes.
You know, people may mistake me, I have no house. I have the house.
No. So you said you have a house. You have a house. You have a house.
Hata leo tukitembea utarara huko.
Very good.
Hata ile ya Masai inaweza kuwa.
Yeah, lakini kuna nyumba. Si kuna nyumba? Very good. So you have all been invited to it. Sawa. Good. So last one, then we get into some mathematics here. What do you have to offer? Because many times you come into a place of retirement and you're wondering, what else do I have? You have experience. Okay. 20 years work experience. Hands up. 20 years work experience. Keep your hand up if you have done 30 years work experience. Over 30, yes. Very good. Hands up, over 40 years experience.
On one organization
Yes.
or different.
In all the different
Because
organizations.
Someone like me, I've almost gone almost round. Even I think even your place where you are.
No problem. I am asking how many years. You have done more than 40. Paka casual. Work experience.
Kama cash pia.
Do you? Yes.
It's not only
Yes, because that's work experience.
So if I started working at 20
Yes,
years.
and you how?
20
Uh-huh.
years.
60.
Let's say 60 now.
Very good. 40 years.
Yes.
Do you know what 40 years experience means? Do you know how many places you have worked? The kind of people you have worked with? Do you know the experience that you have? You can even see somebody, you know, this one I can work with, this one I cannot. This is the kind of thing that you have to offer. Where have you worked? In what capacity have you worked? That's what now we are writing down. So we're going to write down, what do you still have to offer? You have experience. That's something that when I'm training 20-year-olds, they don't know anything. They don't know anything about how to deal with a boss. They don't know how to deal with colleagues. They don't know how to deal with employees. Nothing. That's what you have. So that 40 years that you're talking about, you have learned how to deal with people, isn't it? You have learned how to deal with the government. You have been paying tax for 40 years. You have paid tax. This is what I'm saying. Write down, what do you have to offer right now? That 40 years experience, the farming experience that you have, the networks that you have. Can you see all these men around you here? If you call somebody, you'll get millet, isn't it? That you had just now. You are the one who was saying millet. If you call somebody here, you'll get something else. If you're looking for land, you'll get something else. You have a network around you of people. Yes, sir.
If someone says that he invested in families,
Yes.
it brings sense.
It is.
Yes.
Why not? Why not? Agriculture is the biggest industry in this country of ours. Why not? Biggest.
Biggest by
So family.
Family inaonekana iko na vitu mingi ndani.
Mama, myself, I'm
Yes.
talking about
Iko vitu mingi
family.
Yes.
So that's my shamba.
But it's one of the
Bring cow.
biggest.
You're talking about, sorry, did I miss?
Families.
Families. Oh.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. That you invested in families.
You know, when you have a family,
Uh-huh.
and you're working,
Aha.
you just keep them.
Yes.
Whatever. Is that not investment? How do we call it?
It is investment,
You have
but not financial.
family.
Let me say this. So, my parents, they came from families with how many children? My mom, they were 10 children. 10. My dad, how many were they? 12 in their family. Okay? So there are 10 children taking care of my grandparents, isn't it? And 11 children taking care of grandparents. Now, some of them became useless along the way, drunkards, what. So at least 5 were sending some money home. How many children do you have? Your family? Okay, I know that's not a good question to ask. No, you don't ask. Okay, 6. Do you see that's half of what my... Now, out of those, when you look at them, how many of them do you think will be sending you something when you look at them? So you know your children.
Yes.
So you know how they look. Maybe 4. We hope. And when will that happen? Have they started sending? Have they started participating? Those are the questions. So, is it an investment? Yes. But it's for an investment for them, not for you.
But the first thing
Yes.
begins to your family when you are working.
Correct.
Is the first thing you aim to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
where
agree.
do we put it? We put it in the financial.
No. Why? Because I have no guarantee. I love my children. But I have no guarantee that they will love me the way I love them today. Is there a guarantee like that? And me, I only have daughters. So, by God's grace, they will get married and
That's a very good investment.
it's a good investment. Why is it a good investment?
Yeah,
That you have-
multiply very good.
But I don't know.
Yes.
You see, traditions are changing. I don't know whether those men will come and do things. I only have daughters. Yeah.
So I
Uh-huh.
said one man.
Yes, sorry?
If I have daughters,
Yes.
Your sons now.
so somebody can decide one man.
Yes, exactly. Yes. See, that's what I'm saying. Then what will I do? Yeah. So what I'm saying is, with family, the investment is not for you. It is for them. So that they are set up to go and live a good life. In fact, the Bible, doesn't it say a good man leaves what? An inheritance for his children and his children's children. Not that the money comes the other way. It's that the money goes out. That's my experience. Because right now we don't know. We don't have any guarantee. You see, it's not like your piece of land or that rental that you're going to build somewhere. That one, you know, if there's a tenant, they will pay you. But your child, do you know? We don't know. So that investment of education, food, all those things is not for you, but for them. I will not put it there, but we'll talk about it. Is that okay? It's for them. Sorry? Yes, sir.
Kwa kitu ingine hapo
Gani, niambie.
wakisema
Mhm.
unajua mzee wa boma
Yeah.
ni kama taproot ya miti.
Eh.
Na hii surrounding umeleta watu hapa wamekuwa wengi.
Mm.
Hawamwagi maji kwa hii miti ndio ibisi branch ipatikane na uzito. Unafikiria hiyo boma itakaa?
Haitaka. So I didn't say don't invest. I just said don't expect the return. That's all. Most effective. Because guess what? Even outside of your job, you have this same purpose. And you're going to find that effectiveness where you are. So we'll share this with you. All those things that you have written, you're going to go around and see what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you get paid for. Because cash is still important even now in retirement. In fact, even probably more important. So we're going to talk about that even as we go through. This is simply a template that you're going to use for yourself to begin to think through. How do I offer? Okay? What is there? Next, I want you to write this down. People have never defined wealth for us, but we're going to define wealth today. This is the definition that we use, and I'm going to help us because it's going to help us even with that idea of the apartments, the rentals, the farming, all these different things. Wealth, as far as we are concerned at Centonomy, is the ability to live the lifestyle that you want without having to work. I know that's problematic, but we will get to it. So please write it so you don't forget. Some of these things I'm going to ask that you write so that you don't forget. When you write, it helps you to remember. Wealth is the ability to live the lifestyle that you want without having to work. Okay. So first of all, you need to know what you want. I love the discussion that we had because you said, I want to build that house up country, isn't it? I don't just want the house here in Nairobi. So there's a life that I want there. And you even began to describe the house. You know, it is like the one that looks like this. It looks like this. This is what you want. So be clear about what you want. Secondly, this second half of the statement, without having to work. Now pay attention clearly. You have to work very hard, the way you have been working so hard to get to this point. What does it mean? It means, listen, that you have assets or you have businesses, you have land, you have rental properties, you have all these things that are producing money and paying you to live the life that you want, whether you show up or not. That is freedom. So here's the thing, if you don't have to work and your assets are paying you, that is the financial freedom that we're looking for. So which things are these that when you have them, they pay you to live the life that you want? That's what we want to discuss today. So we're working towards wealth. No matter which place that we are, we're working towards wealth, which means what? You have assets that are doing what? Paying you. You have assets that are paying you. If you have a piece of land, does it pay you? It appreciates. Is that the same as paying you?
It has to be, you have to invest in it so that it pays.
How do you invest in it so that it pays?
Yeah.
How?
You by doing various things on it.
Like what?
So if it depends the location.
No problem. Like what? Just say what things.
Bananas.
So farming or what else?
Business
Like what he said, business.
You have to make it active.
Does the land produce by itself? You have to do something to it. Now, here's the issue, and that's why we're going to talk about this. I'm breaking it down. As you said, it appreciates. Wonderful. Does that mean money in your pocket? So I've owned a piece of land, okay, up country near my home in Nyeri. I own a piece of land there. Okay, but I don't farm on it. It's appreciating, yes? Where's the money? Where's the money? It's doing nothing. What do I have to do to that land in order for it to pay me? I do that work or I sell it. Isn't it? Good. Now, when I retire, if all I have is land, good. Now I have land. Then I sell one plot. See, I have some money. Then I sell the next. I have some money. Then I sell the next. I have some money. Then I sell the next. I have some money. When I finish selling them, what do I do? At you die. No, no.
Okay. Where do you take the money that?
Exactly. So, unakufa hapo tu. No. So what we're trying to say is, if that is our financial plan, we're going to find ourselves exactly doing that. You'll just die because there's nothing left. So what we're talking about is assets that generate money, they produce money, and do what? Pay you. That's what we have to start thinking about.
Just annual sleep.
Praise the Lord. That's it. That's what we're talking about. So, if we're going to get to that point, we need to start managing our money today. So, can we talk about that now? Let's talk about it. How much of what you've worked so hard for is actually yours? Can we just check? Can we just do a quick exam? I want you to imagine that each month here represents 10% of your income. Okay? So when you get your salary, 10%. When you get your money from all your businesses, the farms and everything, each one of these months represents 10%. There are 12 months. That means 120%. I've even given you a raise of 20%. So can we see where your money goes today? Remember we said if you can't manage 100 shillings, you can't manage 100 million. So can we see how we manage our 100 shillings today? Okay, let's do a quick check. All CocaCola employees, do you pay tax on their behalf? You don't withdraw? You take it beforehand. So you have done it on their behalf. On average, how much do they pay in tax of their income? Around 30%. So 10, 20, 30% of what you earn goes to who? There you go. Very good. So when you work from January to March, you have worked for who? For the government. You have not started working for yourself. After you've paid Zakayo, who comes next? Where does your money go next? You tell me. Where does your money go? School fees. Is everybody paying school fees? Everyone. Is somebody not? No one, is anyone who is? So everyone is paying school fees. About how much of your income goes to school fees? 10? 10%? Is 10 okay? More than 10. But you know some people have already finished on the schooling side. So let's leave it at 10 for now. Okay. So 10% goes to school. Where next does your money go? Bills, like which ones? Electricity, water, garbage, security, house help, Simu. Yes? See, these are utilities. Very good. How much for utilities? 10%? 10? Okay, good. Where next? Church. Hey! I was wondering when somebody is going to say that. And even if you don't give to church, no problem. I'm not judging anybody here. We are Africans. See, there's always a harambe you're being called for. Are you on a WhatsApp group that is collecting money today on your phone? Today. See, we give. Do you not give? You give many on them. So can we say 10% whether you're in church or WhatsApp? If you're in church and also WhatsApp groups, then it's even double. So 10%. Good. Where next?
Parents.
Relatives. See, now we have Africans. So we have community that we give, and then now we have people we take care of. Our parents, our children, not even ours, our relatives' children, isn't it? Many of you here are taking care of somebody else's child and taking them to school and doing other things. And then there's a wedding. See, you've been called for a wedding. You have been called for a funeral. Were you called for baby something? What is it called? Baby shower. Did you go? Dowry. Oh, Donny. Where? Yes. Lakini bado. Where next? Where next? Loans. Nani wako na madeni? We all have loans. No, let's leave loans till the end. I'll show you where the loans come. After that, where next? Where next? Where does your money go? How did you reach here? And today it was raining, so how much? Okay, what else? Luxuries like? Very good. Transport and luxuries zimeenda. Where next? Entertainment kama? Yes. If you pay for TV, that is entertainment. You know there's free TV in this country. But many of us still pay. Social media. You pay.
More than this.
What else? What else? Where does your money go? Madeni. Tutakuja hapo. Anything else? Kwani chakula? Mjakula? How much? How much? Hiya. You don't budget for food. You just eat. You just eat. Hey. How much? For food? 20. Oh, but we finished. Wait. We finished our money here. That was 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100%. When we got here, you have finished your money, but we have still not eaten. So if you eat more, if you have spent more than you earn, where did that money come from? So you had to borrow. And so because now you have borrowed, what do you have to do? You have to repay. With what? Interest. Say that loudly. So everyone, say it louder than that.
You have not saved.
You have not saved, neither have you invested. So if you're going to know where your money is going now, if you don't have control, and that's what I'm going to challenge us to do today, is to take control of our money. Because budgeting, let me tell you this. People think budgeting is like putting handcuffs, Now you can do nothing. Your life is boring. You'll never go anywhere. You'll never do anything. No entertainment, nothing. No, that's not what budgeting is. Budgeting is taking control of your money. And you begin to say, this is where my money is going to go. Even entertainment. But right now in this place, many of us don't even know where our money goes. For sure, we don't know. If you don't budget for food, you don't know. There's something else I'm going to show you just now that you don't know. And so what we're trying to do over the next couple of weeks and months is to take control of our money. And you take control. In this class, and anyone who comes to teach you, we will never come and tell you, this is what you're supposed to do with your money. Do 10% here, do this. If I do that, how can I do that? I am your son in this room. I cannot tell you what to do with your money. But I will challenge you to decide what you're going to do with your money. Because guess what? See, everybody has a plan for your money. Everyone, your relatives have a plan. Even us, we have a plan. We want you to buy a book here. I have a plan for your money. So if you don't have a plan, everyone will plan for your money. I'm challenging us to have a plan for our money. So can I give you the first tip that you're going to write down? Write this down. Pay yourself when? First. Pay yourself when? First. Because if you wait until you've paid everybody else, you saw, was there anything left? Nothing. And we had not even included other things there. We didn't fully get into the school fees business. We didn't fully get into health. Thank God you didn't get sick. Yes? You all look so good. So you bought clothes, shoes, things. Where was that? You went to the barber. Hey, you went to the barber and the salon, isn't it? How much did you pay for that? Was it free?
No.
No? So pay yourself first. Let's write down this after that. How do you pay yourself first? By doing two things. Write them down. By saving and investing first. Put some money aside first. If you don't, there'll be nothing left. Secondly, as you said, thank you that you shouted at the very end, you have not saved. What does that mean? I asked you, at the beginning of this exercise, I asked you, where does your money go? Nobody shouted at me saving. Nobody shouted at me investing. What does that mean? It is not a priority in our lives. It isn't. It means that we do it when we can. And what happens is you find yourself in a position where you cannot be able to manage. So when we talk about this principle of pay yourself first, that's what we mean. When money comes in, you have to think, how can I put a little bit aside for saving and a little bit for investing? Can I separate the two things? What is saving? Let's write this down. Saving is putting cash, money in an investment where I can get it when I need it. That's saving. Like, where can I put money like that? A savings account? Which other investment can I put where I can put cash and when I need it I can get? Have you heard of a money market fund? Money market fund is one of those investments. It's like savings. Some SACCOs, are we members of a SACCO? Yes. Some, yeah? Some SACCOs, the money you put in you can get. But some, when you put it in, you can't get it out unless you are withdrawing from the whole SACCO. Some SACCOs, you can be able to get your cash. Most of us, the best place to do saving is a savings account. Because where it is, you can access it when you need it. Savings, you can write this, are for emergencies. So savings, you need to put money. So if something were to happen, you can get that cash. That's saving. Investing is different. Write this down. Investing is putting your money where it will grow. But not only grow faster than inflation. Putting your money where it will grow faster than inflation. Investing is putting your money where it will grow faster than inflation. Inflation is what? All of us in this room are old enough to remember. The first time you bought a loaf of bread, how much did it cost? You were sent to the shop. How much did it cost? Me, I remember. So you can see how old I am. 1992 is when I remember. And a loaf of bread was how many shillings? 7 bob. For a loaf of bread that was 500 grams. Do you remember that time? 1992. A loaf was 500 grams and it's 7 bob. I'm sure some of us have bought bread for cheaper than that. The first time you bought was how much? 75 cents. 75 cents, that was in the 70s. In the 70s. 1 shilling and 20 cents, that was late 70s. Not yet in the 80s, late 70s. 80s is where I came into the world, so I know. Elliot, 500 grams. Today, we are buying 400 grams. Have you noticed the bread has become smaller? So it has become smaller and we are paying how much? 65 for a smaller piece of bread. In the next 10 years, please believe me, it will cost more. In 20 years from now, plan to buy a loaf of bread for 500 shillings. 20 years. And we'll still be here, isn't it? And you'll still be buying bread and looking for it, isn't it? So inflation is real. So if we're not putting our money where it's going to grow faster than inflation, we're not investing. So inflation right now is around 7% on average in this country. Around 7%. So if you are investing, the investment must give you more than 7%. If it's giving you less than that, what are you doing? Saving. If it's giving you more than 7, you're doing what? Investing. Because then your money is growing. Sawa sawa? Very good. So, now let's talk about the expenses. Okay? Let's talk about your expenses. Your expenses, and we're doing this, it's called a lifestyle audit. It's important for us to know where our money goes today. Because if you don't have control now, when there's not that monthly paycheck that is coming, things can get crazy very quickly. So let's get things in order. And we're going to use what we call the Centonomy ABC budget. ABC budget. Now, when we say A expenses are essential. Essential. What does essential mean? You cannot live without them. Like food. Can you live without food? No. Can you live without shelter? No. Can you live without education? You struggle, isn't it? So these are essentials. The A expenses are what? Essential. However, not all food is essential. Is that okay? Not all food is essential, but food is essential. Not all rent is essential for housing. What does that mean? If you are living in a 3-bedroom and you only use 2 of those bedrooms, that 3rd bedroom is not necessary. Did I say it's a bad thing? No. I'm just saying it's not necessary. So it is a luxury. And in life we need luxuries, isn't it? It's good to have luxuries. But it's good to understand that it is a luxury. Many of us have seen it. My parents now, there are 2 of them living in the same house where they used to have 3 children living with them. And our relatives who used to come and stay there as well. Do they need all that space? No. But do they like it? Yes. So now it's to understand which one is it. Is it essential or is it not? So A expenses are what? Essential. Let's go to B expenses. B expenses are important but not essential. Okay. Important but not essential. Let me give you an example. If I can't go to the gym, see, it's important to exercise, isn't it? And to work. You see, good health. But if I can't go to the gym, what should I do? What can I do to keep healthy? You just walk. Do you need to pay anybody to walk outside your house? But is it important to be healthy? Yes. So going to the gym is important, but it's not essential. Hey, all of us have, everybody has come with a good haircut today, I have seen. Do you remember during COVID, when we were told you can't go to the barber? Did you survive? Your hair grew longer than it used to be, isn't it? But were you alive? Yes. So it's important but not essential. Good. See, expenses are everything else. If you pay for TV, if you buy lunch, you know, as Africans, as you said, we are very funny. We will leave food in the house and go and buy, yes, at work. Not even KFC. Even that office lunch, and you left food at home. Is that lunch essential? No. See, there was food. Yeah. In fact, anyway. Sometimes even food goes bad in your house, in the fridge. Have you ever seen food go bad? Why? We are so rich, eh? We are so rich. We have so much money. Everything else is C expenses. So we're going to share this with you. This is called the ABC budget, and I want to show you how to use it so that you can begin to plan for your life. So the first part is to be in as much detail what you currently spend. As much detail as possible. So I want you to understand this. Up at the top there, right now, things are going to change quickly, but for now it's fine. Okay? At the top here, you're going to put in your current income. The amount of money that you receive after tax and any other deductions, the money that comes into your account. If you have other incomes, everyone here says you are farming and everything. Now, here's the thing about farming. Many times for us who are in Nairobi, we send more money to the farm than the farm sends to us. See, that's a problem. The farm needs to actually begin to produce. But if your farm is sending you money, that business is putting some money in your pocket, put it there. So any kind of incomes that are coming, list them there. Now the next part is going to be hard, but bear with me. This is a family budget, a household budget. What does that mean? It means if you're married, you have a spouse somewhere, do this together with them. It's very important. Why? Because many times people are living in the same house, but they don't know how much each person is spending or bringing in. And so when something changes, let's say like what's happening now, somebody retires, the other spouse is like shocked because what they expected to be coming is not coming anymore. And they have never actually done this together. And so I'm going to encourage you, sit with your wife and go through this together. If she has an income, put her income there as well. So that you see, that income, here's how you look at it. If I pay the rent in my house, yes? She's living there rent-free, isn't it? From her budget, she doesn't have that item called rent, isn't it? In that same house, she buys the food and cooks it, isn't it? Do I buy the food myself? No. So I'm eating for free. Are we together? So if we don't know what that budget is, if any of us, things have changed, we begin to see that the burden becomes heavy and people start fighting because they didn't know the truth. So doing this together helps you to see. Now, am I coming to change and say everybody should change what they're doing? No. I'm not saying that now my wife should start paying rent. I'm not saying that. But she should know how much the rent is. If she doesn't know how much it is, she might be very shocked by the time I leave there. So I'm encouraging you to do what? To do this together. After that, here's the thing. The most important part is here. To list exactly what you spend every month in detail. So now, we are not going to be guessing. We know the exact amounts. So there are some of them that we know already because somebody else tells us. Like rent we know because the landlord told us, isn't it? Loan repayments we know because the bank told us, isn't it? Those ones we know. But there are some expenses that we don't know and it's time to take control of them. So for example, shopping for the house, gas, if you buy gas, electricity, water, I want you to list in as much detail as possible all the items that you spend. Why? Because it will give you direction on how to make choices. So like this person is bringing in 125 per month, 125. They spend 124,900. They are left with maybe 100 at the end of the month. But they've done some saving. They've done their tithe and offering, whatever they're doing there. They've done other things. But they are very close to the edge. So guess what happens? When the Zakayo comes and says, now, 1.5% for, what was it? Housing levy. Once housing levy kicks in, this disappears, isn't it? It disappears and now you're in the red. That's why we struggle. So first assignment is to do this in as much detail as possible. And now you have time. Do it. Because it will show you where your money is going and you have never seen it before. Okay. Now we apply ABC to this budget. Can I show you what that looks like? Very good. So here, let's have a look at phone expenses. See, this thing all of us have. See, we have our phone. So this person says, in our lives, we spend 3,500 per month on the phone. Okay? Because that's what we are currently, the current budget is 3,500 for everything. So you get one of those bundles and you spend 3,500 on your phone. Okay. Let's apply ABC to that 3,500. What did we say A expenses are? A expenses are what? Essential. See, all of us can agree, can we survive without our phones? Now, no. You do banking, you call, your business is on that phone, so many things are on your phone. Can you survive without your phone? No. So your phone is essential. But is everything you do on your phone essential? No. Okay. So which part is essential? So this person did an assessment of themselves and they said, If I get one of those, you know those Safaricom bundles for 1,500, it gives you what? Data. It gives you airtime to talk. It gives you SMSs. That's enough to survive in a month. Okay? That's the essential part. So this person has assessed and said, instead of 3,500 as a total, I don't need all of this. Out of this 3,500, how much do I actually need? 1,500. Okay? Everything, this person now also begins to assess and says, but you know, sometimes, you know, when you're bored, you're sitting in a line, you can just look at a few funny social WhatsApp messages, isn't it? You watch a few social media things. Is entertainment a bad thing? No. In fact, it's a good thing. You need to relax every so often. Sometimes you buy a book and read on your phone, isn't it? There are some good things that are on your phone, but they are not essential. So this person had said, out of this 3,500, 2,000 of that, it's important but not essential. Entertainment, relaxation, reading, attending all those webinars and whatever that is going on. Good? Many of us have even some C expenses. Now, can I tell you a C expense? I don't know if you're like me, but sometimes before you go to sleep, you lift the phone and you start looking at social media. And before you know it, it has been an hour and you are supposed to be asleep and you're tired. You're tired, but you're still just looking. Now that's not entertainment. Now that's just time wasting, isn't it? I didn't say that looking at social media is bad. I just said, if you're supposed to be sleeping, see you sleep. Exactly. And TikTok is the worst for just doing this. Because it's one short video, you laugh, then you do this, another one. Then you do, before you know it, 1 hour has passed. That would be considered to be a what? C expense. So now, watch what you do when you have assessed yourself. Look here. Currently, I am spending 3,500. Out of that 3,500, I know I need at least 1,500 on my phone so that I can do my work. So that I can survive, isn't it? That one is necessary. This was important but not essential. And there are some expenses over here that are not. So at the end here, we now put together our proposed budget. Now, in the proposed budget, please look here so that you understand. I didn't jump all the way from 3,500 to 1,500. Why? Because see, life is for living. Life is for living. Life is not just survival. It's for living. So if I take my budget from 3,500 down to 1,500, now I'll be depressed. Because I can't be on those same WhatsApp groups that were there. I can't do the things that I'm used to doing. My life is difficult. But is there space for me to make a saving? Yes. So instead of jumping all the way from 3,500 to 1,500, make a small change and go to what? 3,000. So on your phone, you have saved only how much? 500 shillings per month. As an example. Doesn't sound like a lot. But watch this. If we do the same with each one of these items, small changes, don't make big ones. Because when you make a big one, your life becomes boring. You start struggling and you're wondering, is there any life or anything? And before you know it, you can't stay with it. So what I'm suggesting is, make small changes to each one of them. 500 here, 200 here, 1,000 here, out of all the different items that are there. And when you have done that, look at this person. They were ending the month with 100 bob in their pocket, if it survives still there. But if they did small changes per item, instead of buying toilet paper, does it go bad? So go buy a big bale of the cheap ones from wholesale. Then you keep the toilet paper in your house. Instead of buying Jogo, go and buy which one? Yes. Yes. Make small changes. You are still eating ugali. I'm not trying to say don't eat ugali. You're making small changes. It adds up. This person suddenly has an extra what? 11,000 shillings per month in their pocket. By making small changes. What is this 11,000 going to allow you to do? To pay your debts quickly? Isn't it? It's going to allow you to save a little bit more, invest a little bit more. You can make choices with that 11,000. But you cannot do it unless you take control like this. Are we together? Any question about the ABC budget? And we're going to share it with you. You can do it on your phone. You can do it wherever you're comfortable. Sawa sawa? Any question about this? Yes, sir. Yeah.
Umeweka iko wapi budget? Zile vitu zinakujaga hapa.
Oh, emergencies kama
Ugonjwa. Ugonjwa wa familia.
Yes.
Nini? Iko pale jingine unaweza kaa. Sikia unaitwa nyumbani kwa sababu iko.
Yes.
Sioni kama hiyo budget iko hapa.
Very good. If it is not there, add it. So, this budget is yours. Is it mine? No, it's yours. So if you know there will be a committing somewhere, start doing what? Saving a little bit for that committing. So we are going to ask you to put aside some money and say, this is money for what? Traveling up country in case it happens. And if it doesn't happen, just leave it there. Because at some point, it will happen. Niuliza.
Ndio kitu umeongea tunaongea saving. Hii pesa ya kuretire.
Yes.
Inatakana uweke mahali na generate.
Yes.
Ndio uendelee na hiyo saving yako na unapata kidogo ya kusupply watu unasema nyumbani.
Very good.
Sasa hujaongea hiyo maneno hapo. Hii pesa ana save nini hapa? Unatoa hii nilichukua siku moja nikaweka hapa.
Yes.
Ni save ingine niweke ingine. Hii pesa itaisha.
Very good. I am coming to that. See, we have to now find out where we're going to put our money so that it generates something. We're coming to that. But in response to your question, here's what I'm trying to say. All of us have been called by our homes, isn't it? Suddenly. All of us have had somebody in our family sick, suddenly. So, stop saying suddenly. Plan. Actually put an item here and say, savings for family. And you put some money there, just in case. And if it doesn't happen, you don't use it. And if they call you, that's the one that you use. If you're going to be able to do. Is that okay?
For supplementary budget.
Very good. Very good. That's the one. So actually put it in there, even as we go. Any other question? Very good questions. And very good comment. I'm coming to your question. Any other question? Okay. Everyone remove your phone.
I have a question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, my question is just I need to know this chart.
Yes.
Is it somewhere for guidance?
Yes.
You have it here or
We will send it to you. So you have the soft copy that you can be able to edit for yourself. Good. Yes. Everyone go to your phones. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Unatuambia tu budget ile tukiwa na kama video.
Yes.
You are sister.
Very good.
But you know why sometimes they are very stubborn.
Yes.
Unajua mwingine atamwambia mkae budget na ile pesa yake.
Yes.
Sababu always pesa ya mwanamke ni yake. Lakini yako
ni yenu. Yes.
So unaweza fanya namna gani where you're both going to work.
Yes.
But here money is mine.
Yes.
But to me,
yes,
money is
ours. Yes.
Is that not what we said about investment in family?
Yes. See, you're asking that. So here's the thing. Why do I ask you to do this? Because what I have seen from my experience, training people for many years, is that it works until there is a problem. You know the way you have described it? It works until there is a problem. Until suddenly maybe the money has reduced, maybe a job has been lost, maybe there is sickness. It works until that point. And then at that point is when people start asking, you mean this is how much you are paying in loans? You mean you had borrowed this amount? You mean? And there's such trouble. So the best thing from my experience is you do it together as best as you can. Let me tell you something what I've learned about ladies in my short experience. I know you have more experience than me. But in my short experience, what ladies like is security. in fact, why they put money aside is because they don't want a moment when they'll need some money and they can't find something. They don't want that. So they tend to save more than us men. So if you, as the man in the house, can show this is for your security, so that you know where my money is, so that in case anything happens, you are safe, she will come along with you. So the budget there, vile umesema, the budget for shopping, groceries, maybe with one child it will go up. But see, there's a budget here for, what is it called? Go TV. What is it called? Go TV, kuna ingine, Star Times, DSTV. Sikunayo. Can you reduce that budget?
Naweza kuireduce.
Yeah. Is it possible? It's possible. On your phone, can you reduce? Yes. So there are many things that you can be able to change. Now, on the issue of our wives, all I'm saying is, as yes, amesikia. For our wives and our families, what I'm trying to do is not to change the way you have been doing things, but so that you can see what the truth is. Some of us don't know how much is spent on food in our house. So God forbid your wife gets sick, she's in hospital. What will you do? Yes. Do you even know where she buys the things that you're talking about? Does she know where to get the fundi to come and fix in your house? Does she know? So if you don't know these things, especially at a time like this, you can find yourself in a very tough position. So what I'm saying is, as much as you can, work together as a team. And when you're answering her, remember what we discussed here. Always put it to her, this is for your security. I want you to be safe. So that God forbid I'm not here, you're okay. She will, let me tell you tell her that, she will be with you. Last one, then we move on. Ndio uliza. So, as I said, si ni yako, si budget ni yako. Mali unatumia pesa ni yako. Sawa? Yes. So, and so if there are any items here that you don't have, like now if your children have left, just remove child expenses. Wamenda. Okay. If there are some things here that are not there that you would like to add. DVDs, no, you have to have entertainment. Entertainment. Oh, sawa. Very good. Yeah. Uliza.
Hii budget, hii nini unaweka? Unasema ni na pipi na yeye alete yake.
Yes.
Suppose it's not a boy.
If she's not, then all you put is the money that is taking care of your house. No problem.
Iko necessary moja sio kizangu kinafanya.
Yes.
Yangu peke na yeye afanye kazi anakuja kwa kizangu.
Because if you are not there, atafanyaje?
Atajipanga.
What I'm trying to say is this. You share so many things, and it's for her security and for your children. That's all I'm asking. Phones, M-Pesa messages. M-Pesa messages. Go to your M-Pesa messages. Not to the app. Not to the app. Go to your messages where you receive the message for M-Pesa. Yes. Go to your messages where you saw M-Pesa. Very good. Now, I want you to do this. Go to the last message, the one that you just received. Okay. On that message, can you see something written? Transaction cost.
Yes.
Transaction cost. How much is it?
33 bob.
33 bob. Okay. Write 33 on your. And yours, what is yours? 00. Go to the next message. I want you to add that transaction cost until Monday last week. So go to messages until you see Monday again. Add on your paper in front of you. Just the transaction cost, not what you sent, not what you paid, not what you received. The what? Transaction cost. Just add it up for 1 week. 1 week only.
You're not too wrong.
Just add it. Kazi kwako. Kwa sababu
Fanya transaction,
Ehe.
always delete.
ai. Okay, uko na app, M-Pesa app? Hauna? Ai. Okay, utaona ukweli leo. Just add on that piece of paper in front of you for 1 week, 7 days. Just add. All transaction costs.
Niulize ni nini?
All of them.
Wanaita ndevu.
391. Ni haujamaliza, si umalize. Yes. Sawa. Why did I ask you to do this? Because there is money that is leaving your pocket and you don't know. Where have you reached so far? 787. You, it was for 2 days and you are at 390. Did you know that you are giving Safaricom 700 shillings a week plus? In fact, you have not finished, so it will go over 1,000 shillings. Did you know that you are paying Safaricom 1,000 bob every week? Did you know? How many of you knew?
Sasa ya polisi inakuwaga mingi.
Yes.
Hata ukifikiria mambo ya polisi.
What I'm asking you, did you know that money was leaving your pocket? Was it in your budget? Let's do this quickly. You said we had 700 and what? 737. 737 in 1 week. How many weeks are there in a year? Times 52. Did you know that you're giving Safaricom 40,000 shillings a year for transaction costs? Yes. Yes.
Just 1 week.
Did you know? 40,000. Can you buy a plot somewhere? Yes. But we're giving Safaricom and we don't know.
What do we do now?
That is true. That is true. So I'm going to give you some solutions just now. But can I confess my sins first so that you don't know, so that you understand it is not just you. Me, I'm also terrible. You know, when we did this for the first time, write this down, sorry. So the next assignment for the next 1 month starting today is to do track your spending. Yes. Yes. In fact, you are crazy if you don't track, like me. Can I show you? For me, it was take out food. You said KFC, my brother. That's what we were talking about. KFC. So, it wasn't even KFC during the week. During the week, when you go to the office, is your lunch provided for you? Or you buy lunch when you go? So pray, you guys are in good. Us, in the office, it is not provided. So this, when we did it with my wife the first time, we found we were spending on average about 250 on lunch because both of us work in Westlands. So 250, that's not even KFC lunch. That's the one that is brought to the office. 200 for the lunch and 50 bob for a kasoda. Somewhere where there. But now there are how many of us? It's not 1, it's 2, isn't it? So in a day, how much are we spending on lunch? 500. Now we do Monday to Friday. Because both of us are going to the work. So this is times what? 5. How much is that? 2,500 Monday to Friday on lunch. And we were leaving food in the house. So you cook, which Africans cook food for 2 people? So you have some food left, but we are not carrying. Okay, then Saturday, where do you go? Now Saturday you go where? Java, KFC, Choma, wherever you're going, and you spend how much? This was now us. We found we were spending on average when you go the 2 of us. Because now, see, Westlands executives, what? You'd go somewhere and spend. Because if you go to Java, you'll spend how much? 1.5 per person. Then Sunday after church, now you drive somewhere else. And you'd buy what? The same. How much is that in a week? in a month. Guess how much our rent was this time? This was rent. This was lunch. Crazy. Crazy. Because we would go to the end of the month and look at each other and ask each other, where is the money to invest? We were eating it. And it's because it was money that was coming out of our pocket and we didn't, because the way we thought, it's just 200 bob. How much did you think you were spending on Safaricom transaction charges? How much? Did you imagine 1,000 shillings plus per week? Did you imagine that? But where is that money coming from? Where is it coming from? See, it's from your pocket. And then at the end of the month, you are wondering, can you imagine how many of those things, if you go through your budget, that you will find the truth? But you can only find the truth if you don't go. You said you go crazy if you do this. You're crazy if you don't. Because then you're just spending without knowing. Only a crazy person does that. Isn't it? A crazy person is one who just goes and spends and not ask where they are going. So, here's the point. What I want you to do is to know where the money is going. Then you can make decisions. Did we stop eating? No, we continue to eat, but we ate better. There are choices that you can make. Can I give you choices for your M-Pesa? Carry cash. All of us in this room are old enough to remember time before M-Pesa. How did you used to pay for things before M-Pesa? You paid with cash. So why aren't you using cash now? Carry some cash. Secondly, all of us have a bank account. See, that bank account comes with your card. Use your card. When you go to a supermarket or any other place that can use a card, use your card. It is free. And if your bank is charging you, look for a better bank like I did. My bank, if I'm sending you M-Pesa, I don't withdraw and put in my M-Pesa and then send you. I send you direct and it's free. Sorry, somebody was asking me a question. Not credit card, debit card. The debit card is the one to your account, not a credit card. Debit card, the ATM for your bank account. Use that card instead of M-Pesa. Because instead of spending 30 shillings when you use the M-Pesa, because the 30 shillings, first of all, you withdrew from the bank. So you are charged. Then now when you are spending it or sending it, you are charged again. Remove that. Yes. Go look for it again. Debit. Ile ATM. But we want to be having the ease of M-Pesa. How much is M-Pesa costing you? 40,000 shillings every year. I'm sitting here next to you. I owe you 1,000 shillings. Instead of removing 1,000 shillings and giving you, I pay Safaricom 30 shillings to give you. Why? Oh, by the way, I'm a shareholder at Safaricom. So continue to please use M-Pesa. I don't mind because now you're making me money on that side. But I want you to save money on your side. M-Pesa is a wonderful tool. You know, when you're going, instead of going up country, see now you can just send on your phone so that they receive the money. M-Pesa is wonderful for that. But M-Pesa is also dangerous if you use it for everything that you're doing now. If you use it for, yes.
You don't carry cash. I don't.
Carry. Please. How many of you have seen people's phones being stolen and even the M-Pesa that's in there? See, if somebody comes to you like this and tells you, send me M-Pesa, so you will send him. Yes. So what's the difference? Which security purposes?
Rest is they are more tactical.
Yes. How many here have been conned on M-Pesa? Has somebody been conned? Somebody sent you a message. Nilikutumia by mistake. See you. Yeah. Yeah. All I'm saying is, how many of you knew that you are spending 40,000 shillings every year to use M-Pesa? 40,000 and more. There's money leaving your pocket. Just like me, this craziness that I used to do, I'm asking you, in order to do your budget properly, track. Can I give you the advice? Write this down. Yes, you just can't carry from home. That was it. Because the food was there. And that meant we would still go on the weekend. But what has that done? You're saving 10,000 shillings a month. 10,000 out of these 34 by just carrying food from home. Because in the office, is that better food than the one you eat at home? Not really. But on the weekend, you still need to go and meet friends and enjoy. Sherehe kidogo. Yeah. This saved us over 10,000 shillings a month. Just to carry. Yes. Yes. Hmm. But if it's a till number, then it's free normally. Yeah. But what I'm trying to say is find a way to save that money, because many times, like, your bank will charge you to withdraw and put in your M-Pesa. So if you can find a way to save that, save it as well.
But also now it depends on the activities you are doing.
Agreed. But what I'm trying to say is, you are spending 40,000 shillings a year and you didn't know. Yes. Yes.
You can spend your transactions.
Yes.
Hata kama utakuliwa hiyo vertical.
Yes.
The type of the activity you are
Correct.
you are making money.
Correct. If, for example, the example I said is, if you're sending money up country, see, it's cheaper than to go yourself there and help that person. Yeah. So send it via M-Pesa. That's what M-Pesa is good for. But if I'm sitting next to you and I owe you money, and I pay Safaricom 30 shillings for the benefit of paying you, that's all I'm saying. Then you go and find the truth about where your money is going. When you know, then you can make decisions. So like for us, we made decisions. And those decisions are the ones that have taken us from being tenants to being landlords today. Because this is over 10 years ago. Can you imagine 10 years of 10,000 shillings a month saving and investing? And that is just one item. I've not even said, this is lunch. I've not told you the other things. Sawa sawa? So here's what we're going to do. You are the one to tell me. You don't have to. Sometimes you don't. Okay, write this down. Write this down. Track your expenses, and here's the goal. You can't do it every day of your life. Come on. Some people, I don't know, maybe you are like that, you can do it. Me, I can't do it every day. But our recommendation is this. Write this. Do it for 1 month every year. So like decide every April, for the month of April, we will just write down where our money goes. Because what I've realized over time, even after you track the first time, see, you are a human being. You just fall back into habits and things that you were doing before. So every year, if you come back for 1 month, for 30 days, just track. It will now pick up on things that you had never seen before. All right? So your assignment is to start tracking when? Today. So you have 30 days from today. You have 30 days to track. Then come back and talk amongst yourself. You know, during lunch, just sit and say where your money has gone. Then you begin to see what you can do. Is that clear? Any question on this? So we'll send you a tracker. One of the things that's very useful is just carry a notebook. If you're not the kind of person who likes a notebook, there are apps that you can get on your phone, many apps for tracking, and it'll just help you. I usually tell people, download 2 or 3 of them. Try them. The one that you like, use. If you don't like this, use your notebook. As I said, we'll also send you a tracker for an Excel sheet, which you can use on your phone as well. Okay? But the important thing is to do what? To track. For how many days? 1 month every year. It will change your life. It changed my life. Sawa sawa? Very good. Sawa. So, now, this one is a hard one, eh? And it's what we were discussing right now. The way people see us. In fact, we do so much to show others how we are doing, isn't it? And that the truth of the matter is this, our image can be sometimes more of a prison than it is a resource. Kwanza those WhatsApp groups, when somebody is raising money, I find myself being added so many times to different groups. Sometimes I just remove myself. Just left the group. Because there's pressure once you're amongst other people. Now, did I say that you should not be part of a community? You should. But let that community not be the one deciding for you where your money goes. So you decide. Decide which WhatsApp groups you're going to join. Decide which fundraisers you're going to be part. You decide. Because if you let everybody else decide, you might find yourself in trouble. Okay. So I want us to do something so that we understand what I mean. When you think about image, this is what happens. You spend more as you earn more. See, this is our experience. I don't know if you were talking about when you started working, isn't it? This is me when I started working. See, when you started working, your income increased. Yes? So what did you do? You moved out of your parents' house and you started doing what? You started paying rent, food, transport, everything. So the gap between income and expenses remains like this. Good, then you got a promotion, isn't it? What did you do? If you're like Waithaka, so you move to a nicer house, then you take a loan, yes, single to 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, then the gap remains then like this. Then what happens next? So income increases, then you get married, then you have children. So you are earning more now than when you started working, correct? But you still feel under pressure. Why? Because you are spending more than when we go. Okay? So here's what I want us to do. I want us to begin to think about what I showed you before. We are spending and saving very little, isn't it? You're working to just consume. When I talked about it and I said this was just consuming. When you're having just lunch and you're not thinking, where is that lunch going? What could I do better with it? You're just consuming. You're working for a lifestyle. You have to work in order to eat. Your lifestyle starts off extravagant. Hey, mdos. Until the loans start being asked for, isn't it? The repayments. You're careless about time and your spending is driven by OPO, other people's opinions. Other people's opinions. Everyone else is deciding for you where your money should go. But here what we're trying to encourage you to do is you be the decider. You be the one to say, this is where my money is going and I have decided. No matter what people say. This is how it looks like. For somebody who's thinking about wealth more than image. Somebody who's thinking about wealth, they invest more as they earn more. So you're always thinking, how do I multiply and save? So it's not that we stopped eating lunch, because people are looking at this and saying, did you stop eating? No, you eat lunch, but just eat it in a responsible way. And then the times that it is important to you, still go to your friends and do the other things that you want to do. But do it having made some decisions of what you're saying. You invest more as you earn more. So you're always trying to see how do you increase as you're growing. You're working to create what? Assets. And those assets are the ones that then pay you. So we're going to talk about those assets now. The things that you own, are they able to pay you? That's what we're looking at right now. Okay? The lifestyle starts off modest but grows. So always think about it like this. Where I am, I want to grow, but you can't grow rapidly and forget about what was in the past. You understand the value of time, and spending is driven by personal values and choices. Have I come in this room and told anybody where to put their money? Have I told you, don't do this, don't do that? I have only given advice. Why? Because we're all adults in the room. You decide where your money is going. Sawa sawa. Do it for yourself, not for what other people have said. If you have a house here in the city, if you want the house up country, no problem. But don't feel pressure to go. So you have a house. Don't feel pressure to go. If you have a house here in Nairobi,
Yes.
If you want, kama unataka kujenga huko nyumbani, you can build. But if it's somebody else who's putting pressure on you, so you have a house, you don't have to go. Who is making the decision? It's you. If it's you, then build. But if it's other people, leave them to their own things. Some practical side about the things that you own that are going to help you in making some of the decisions around your way. So you've been hearing me say asset, 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 asset. What is an asset? Let's make it very simple. An asset does what? It puts money where? In your pocket. Very good. So why is it important to begin to think about assets as something that puts money in your pocket? Because there are things that you own that they have value, but what do they actually do? They take money out. Okay? So, in this case, my car, for example, it has value. It costs money. Like I can sell it. If I was to sell it, somebody would probably buy it from me. But while I have it, what is that car for? For me to drive around, isn't it? To use for consumption. Just like my sofa set in the house. See, you have a sofa, you have a chair in the house. That chair has value, isn't it? It has, you could sell it, but do you plan to sell your chair? The sofa in your house? No. What do you plan to do with it? To sit and use it. Does it put money in your pocket? No. Does your TV put money in your pocket? No. Does your cooker, the stove inside the kitchen, put money in your pocket? No. Does it have value? Yes. So what we are now trying to do is find out how many of the things that we own actually put money where? In our pocket. Because that's what's going to take care of us now. I've realized, yes, my car is sitting outside there. It's nice. It makes me feel happy. I like it. It makes me, hey, when I'm driving, I feel good. When I'm sitting on my sofa, I feel comfortable. When I'm watching my TV, I feel nice. But all those things take money out of my pocket. And if I'm going to enjoy them properly, I need to have other things that are doing what? Putting money in my pocket. So it is an asset if it does what? Puts money in my pocket. Can my car be an asset? How can it be an asset? If it's a taxi. If it is a taxi, that guy who's driving, he should do what? Should pay me. But now my car is sitting there waiting for me. What is it doing? Eating my money. So how many of the things that you own put money where? In your pocket. That's the question. So we're going to use a tool called a balance sheet. All right? And in a balance sheet, and this is your personal one, this is not for your business, this is for you. So that you know now how much you're worth. In your balance sheet, you're going to have assets. Now you have two types of assets. You have liquid assets and you have fixed assets. What does a liquid asset mean? It can be turned into money easily. It is cash or can be turned into money easily. I'll give you some examples of that. Like if I have shares, if I bought shares of Safaricom, today I can sell them and get my money today. So my shares in Safaricom are liquid, which means I can be able to get the cash quickly like this. If I have money in a unit trust, you know all these insurance companies have unit trusts. Britams, CIC, Sanlams, they all have unit trusts like money market funds. Those are very liquid. If I want my units, I just call them and tell them, sell and send me my money. Within a day or two, I have my money. So those are liquid. So if I can turn it into cash easily, it's liquid. Fixed assets have value, but it's difficult to transfer them into cash, to get the cash money. Give me an example of a fixed asset that it has value, but to get the money, I won't get it tomorrow. It'll take time. Like what? Land. Anything to do with real estate takes time. If you have ever bought or sold land, so you know how long it takes. It takes months before you get your money. Does the land have value? Yes, you are saying it will appreciate, isn't it? Over time. Yes, but it has appreciated. It's sitting there. Who's buying it? We don't know. So until you've sold, it's holding that value. So fixed assets. Good. On the other side, we have our loans. Liabilities. Any loans are what we call liabilities. Loans, madeni, debts. You have investment liabilities, what you've borrowed for investment, and your personal liabilities, what you have borrowed for use, for consumption. I'll explain that in detail, okay? So that you understand the difference. It's best with an example. So let's give these examples here now. Okay. So, up at the top left, and we're going to send you this as well. At the top left, you put your liquid assets, like your savings account. If you need your money, you just go withdraw, isn't it? There's no issues there. No one is going to ask you anything. You just withdraw as required. Some SACCO savings, some, not all of them, you can be able to withdraw when you need it, yes? Treasury bills, and I'll explain about bills and bonds. Bills and bonds, they are very simple. Can I explain just quickly, then you understand what I'm saying? A treasury bill or a bond is simply you have lent the government money. So every year, the government says we don't have enough money to pay its teachers. See, they don't have enough money to pay doctors right now. So they borrow from people, and when they borrow, they promise to pay back with interest. That's what a bond is. And guess what? All of you have invested in government bonds, in case you didn't know. You have. Can I tell you how you've done it? Do you have a bank account? Guess who buys the most bonds? Banks. So what do? They take your money, see all our savings that are there. They cross the road, they go to CBK, and they tell CBK, here's all our money, billions and billions, 20 billion shillings from like Co-op Bank, for example, 20 billion. They say, here CBK is 20 billion. CBK promises to pay them how much? 18%. 18%. They get the 18%, they come back to you and give you how much on your savings account? 5. 2 of maximum 5%. Between 5 and 18 is 13. They have made how much? 13%. Yes. So why go through the bank? So you just go directly to CBK. In fact, your assignment this week, you know where CBK is on Haile Selassie? Just go. Go there and ask them, can I open an account? You can open. It's your bank, by the way, in case you didn't know. It's yours.
Central Bank.
Central Bank, yes. It's yours. Yes. No one, by the way, no one will stop you. No one will stop you. Just walk there and ask to open an account, and you can buy treasury bills and bonds. And if you're scared of going to Central Bank, you can do it through your bank as well. But the bank will charge you. If you go to Central Bank directly, no charge. So I'll explain later as we go. It depends on how. Treasury bills are short term. Treasury bonds are long term. Short term means less than 1 year. The bills. Bonds are more than 1 year, up to 30 years even. But we don't have many 30-year bonds. Up to 20 most of the time. But it can go to 30. Okay. So treasury bill, because it is short term, and also you can sell it to someone else. If you have bills, most people want to sell. I don't know if you remember on the news, they used to do business news. I remember it a long time ago. Did you ever notice the business news? They used to talk about shares trading and bonds trading, isn't it? And you would see the bonds are being sold more than the shares. Why? Because people buy and sell bonds from each other. Not the stock exchange is now you're buying shares in a company. Like I want to buy shares in CocaCola, Coke is not on the stock exchange, in Safaricom, Equity Bank, KCB, Kenya Airways, you can buy shares. That's the stock. But bonds are when you give the government, you are the lender to the government. The government needs money to pay teachers and doctors. So you lend them money. You give them 100,000, they promise to pay you 100,000, 118,000. Like now, they are promising 18% on their bonds. Seriously? 18%. So here we'll get to the treasury bills and bonds, but let me just give you that. The minimum for a treasury bond is 50,000. The minimum for a treasury bill is 100,000. Yeah, minimum. From there onwards, as much as you like. Sawa. Because it is easy to sell and you can get your money quickly, it's liquid, isn't it? See, we said liquid is easy to transfer to cash. Here we have fixed, like your pension. Now your pension is coming. Before now, could you just get your money from your pension? But it's your money, isn't it? But because it's locked there, you can't access it easily. So, but now it's going to come out and you get that cash until that time that you're going to receive. Savings policies like with the insurance companies, land, any kind of real estate, fixed assets. Okay? So this person has a total of 1.35 million in assets. Okay? 350 liquid, 1 million fixed. Sawa sawa. That's total assets. Now let's look at investment. Liabilities. Liabilities means loans. Debt, any debt, madeni that you have, liabilities, okay? So how do you know if it is an investment related liability? For investment, remember what investments are? Put money in your pocket. There must be an asset linked to that investment. So here you have loan to buy what? Land. Up here you must have what? Land. Sawa sawa. So that's an investment liability. Then we have what we call personal liabilities. Personal are the things that you use for yourself. They have no return. It's not an investment that's putting money in your pocket. Like what? Your car. So if I buy, like my car outside there, if I borrowed money to buy that car, I'll put the money I borrow, that I owe the bank here, and up here, I don't put a car. Why? Because I have no intention of selling it. What is my plan for that car? To drive. It's to drive, isn't it? Is it ever going to put money in my pocket? No. I pay insurance, car wash, maintenance, service, fuel, parking. All those things are money doing what? Coming out. So is my car an asset? It's not a liability. Liabilities are loans. It's what we described earlier, and we are trying to say it's something I own. It is a consumption asset. So what we are trying to do is have more assets that put money where? In my pocket. Okay? So what we are going to do, you put that there. Can I make this more emotional for all of us? Let me make this emotional. If I have a loan, I heard you say mortgage. So if I have a mortgage, and I put the amount that I borrowed for the house, and I live in the house. See, it's mine for living in. I'll put the loan amount here, and up here, I don't put the house. Why? Does your house pay you to live in it? It depends. Good. Help me with that. Yes. No, it depends.
One part of the house.
Yes.
The other one you rent.
Very good. If you are renting, then it has an income, isn't it? You are saying indirectly. Explain indirectly.
Indirectly, it makes you comfortable.
No. Comfort is not money. Pay me for comfort. What's the money? No. What's the money for comfort?
So that you are able to
how much is comfort? What is the price of comfort?
Yeah.
Where can I buy comfort? Can you sell me comfort?
But you are comfortable.
No. So, I agree with you. I didn't say that it's bad to be comfortable. See, did I not describe the way my car makes me feel? It makes me feel what? Nice. See, when I'm driving, I feel good. Can I sell that nice feeling? In fact, it's costing me to feel nice. Are we together? Did I say the car is a bad thing? No. Did I say your house is a bad thing? No. All I said is it costs you money to live in your house. Because if you're living in that house, is there a landlord to call and fix anything? There's no land. Who's the landlord? It's you. Is it free to live in that house? No. It costs you money to live in your own house. So the thing is that people put here, they put their house. Then you say 5 million or whatever, 3 million for my house. Hey, I am rich. Where is the money? So we see people retiring. They live in their own house. but they cannot afford to buy food.
Exactly. That's one case. What happened with the Abubu? The fish one was sold to the government retired.
Yes.
And then they started doing extensions. And after staying there, they had nothing to eat. They started giving out extension salons.
Yes.
kiosks.
Yes. So what you said, if you have the house and you're using it, it can pay you money. But if you live in it, just understand that your house does not pay you. It takes money out of your pocket. So can you imagine now you have two houses, one in Nairobi and one in Ushago. Which one is paying you? In fact, aren't they calling you from Ushago saying, send, send, send? So, did I say it's bad to have a house? No. In fact, I want you to have a house. But, write this down so you never forget. In retirement, your biggest financial problem is income, cash. In retirement, your biggest financial problem is what? Cash. Because right now, your job, every month, cash is in your account. Every month, so long as you work, in fact, you know the day. As it's this week. 25th, you're good. The biggest financial problem is cash flow in retirement. The biggest financial problem in retirement is cash flow. So what we're going to try and solve today before we leave this place is where is the money going to be coming from? Sawa sawa? So, you can put the loan here, but up here don't put the house if you live in it. But if it has tenants and things, no problem, put it there. When you have, okay? So this person, the total loans that they have, 100 plus 250, 350. So if you take total assets minus total liabilities, total loans, this person is worth 1 million shillings. The difference, their net worth is 1 million shillings. Okay? That's what we're going to do. But I want us to understand we're trying to build more assets so that they put money where? In your pocket. Now, what else did I want to say about this? So this is going to help you to begin to plan. When we send you this, I want you to go through all the things that you own. Now, please note that there is land here. If this is land that you are hoping to sell, remember the land you are talking about, you're saying it's appreciating, one day I'm going to sell, then you can put it there. But if it's the land that you're saying I wanted to go and build a house, what is your plan with that house? Not to sell, but to build, so don't put it there. Do you see what I'm saying about what your plan is? Because if your plan is to sell, you will make money. If your plan is to build a house, you will not make money. What about inherited land? Is it yours? Like, do you have rights to it, or is it like community land? You know, there are those that have community land. This one has been ours forever and will forever be ours. So you can't buy or sell. So, for example, right now, I thank God for my father. Because my father is now in his late 70s. And about 2 years ago, he came and said to all his sons, he took his pieces of land and he separated. I now own that land. Can I sell the land? Yes. Can I use it? My brother has already built apartments on it. It's mine. But I know someone else from a different community where it is now, it's our home. It's yours, you have the title, but you can't sell it. So which one is it? You can do anything you want with it, put it there as an asset. Sawa sawa? Good. Yes, sir.
What about if you can build on that land that you bought, then after sometimes you sell it plus the building?
Put everything there. So long as you own it and you can be able to use it for financial gain, put it there as an asset. Good. Sawa sawa? Now, one last thing about the balance sheet. All these numbers are current for today. What does that mean? This person didn't borrow 100,000. They maybe borrowed 200,000 for that piece of land. But today they have already paid off 100,000. Yes? When they bought the land was worth 200. See, they borrowed 200 for that land. But now if they go and try and sell it, the land has done what? Appreciated. So you put the current value. So your balance sheet is for the current amount, and you use it once a year. Your budget you use every month, but your balance sheet you use it once a year. Why? Because now for the next 12 months, you'll still be paying off this loan, isn't it? Maybe after 12 months, you've cleared the whole loan. After 12 months, maybe the price has increased from 400 to 450. So after 12 months, you come and take another picture. Your balance sheet is a picture of your current status. Then you look at the two, and you'll see my debt has come down, the value of my property has gone up, my net worth has increased. So your balance sheet, you use it how often in a year? Once. So take a picture now, which is your balance sheet. Then after 1 year, you come and do what? Take another picture and look at the two. Hopefully your debt has gone down and the value of assets has done what? Increased. Very useful for you right now to know for sure how many of the things that you own put money where? In your pocket. Are we together? And we'll share this with you for you to be able to fill in and just know of the things that I own, how many of them are actually going to put money in my pocket. That piece of land, am I going to live there or am I going to sell it? Okay. Can I show this in more detail now, please? This house on the right here, how much does it look like? It's just down here on the road here, Embakasi area. This year, how much? How much would you buy that house? Depending on the location. No problem. So on this one here, how much are you going to buy this house for? Can we say round it off to 5 million? Is that okay? 5 million. So if I buy that house and I live in it, what does it do for me? Hey, and it's a good thing. What does it do? No, it does. Hey, it does. No. It does something for me. No. There's a financial benefit. There is a financial benefit to living in my house. I don't pay rent. But is it free? No. So it has reduced the cost of my living day to day. But it still costs me money. So my amount of money that I need to pay every month has reduced, but it's not zero. Which is why I told you there are people, exactly the example that you said, there are people who retire into their own homes, but they can't eat. Why? Because there's no asset paying them money. That's what I'm trying to get across. 5 million, I live in it. I am worth 5 million shillings, but I can't go to the supermarket. Watch this now. If I drive now a little bit further down, going towards now Machakos, yes? I take the same 5 million and I build or I buy 5 apartments, each worth 1 million. The same 5 million. Now I have 5 apartments, each worth 1 million. How much will that 1 million apartment pay me per month? About how much? This side, as you're going towards Machakos. Yes, that side. How much? A 1 million apartment. How much will it pay me? Anyone know? Kitengela and further out. No, not even close. An apartment worth 1 million per month. Yes. How much? Does anyone know? So I have 5 apartments. Each one of them is worth 1 million. So I'm asking you, that 1 million apartment, how much will I get in rent per month? You were saying? 6 to 7,000. About 6. But I have 5 of them. So 6 times 5? 30,000 shillings. In my pocket. So this one, 5 million, I live in it and it takes money out. 5 million, the same 5 million. And it puts money where? In my pocket. But both of us, if we were to ask the government how much are we worth, both of us are worth how much? 5 million. But between the two of us, who is more wealthy? This one. Why? Because there is what coming in? Cash. And if things were so tough, things were so tough, can you not move into one of the apartments and the other 4 of them are paying you? If things were so tough? But here, if things are tough, what do? You sell. And then? So what I'm trying to get across to you is, of the things that you own, which ones have? Which are putting money in your pocket. Now this is the best. Listen, the best is to have both. If you have your house and you live in it, and then you also have assets that are doing what? Paying you to live there. That's what we need to figure out. What is going to be paying you from now on? So I struggle with this because I'm telling you, these are realities of my life. Around where my parents live, and I thank God for my parents because they made an investment in me. You're asking about him. So we try our best to help our parents. Okay? We try our best. I thank God for my parents. Where they bought their house, they bought it the year I was born, 1981. They bought that house on mortgage for 500,000 shillings, 500,000 in 1981. Okay? Those houses now, if you try and sell them, you're going to sell them for between 70 and 80 million shillings. Okay. They bought for how much? 500,000. Now it's worth 70 to 80. Let's say even 70 on the low side. So they have grown by 69.5 million shillings. Okay? But they live in the house. So where do they get the money? So their value has grown from 500 to what? 69.5 million. But they live in it. How do they eat it? So what would you advise somebody like that? What would you advise them? What would you advise?
You cannot advise them to sell. Because
Why? Why?
No.
Kadogo.
hiyo ingine ajenge nyumba ya hiyo pesa inatosha kufanya hiyo kazi yote
for your whole life, and no one will ever ask you anything. But stay in that house and you don't have other assets. Before long, now you start doing what? Kuomba.
But do you think it will be easy to convince them?
No. It is not easy. It is very hard. And in fact, what I've begun to see around where they stay, it's when it becomes very hard. That's now when you see people disappear quietly. This house, 5 million. These apartments, 5 million. That 30,000 will pay you the rent to live in this house and give you change for a bit of food. So, I'm presenting it to you so that you think, and I'll even give you some other options even as we go. Is that okay? Good. So write this down so that you don't forget. Focus on what? Assets. I want you to think Out of all the things I have, how many of them put money where? In my pocket. Okay? Assets protect your investment. They earn you some income or they gain in value over time. But I want you to think about it like this. Of the things I own, how many of them put money in my pocket? Because when you're retired, you need more assets. And here's the thing, the way you said it, just sell. But it's very, as you said, it's very hard to convince until I have this class with you. There are some things for you to survive and to live comfortably. So you want to live comfortably. Because comfort, let me describe comfort to you. If you're living in your big house, this one, the one that was there, you saw it, yes? But you can't eat, are you comfortable? You can't travel, you can't go to church. Are you comfortable? You can't participate in any of the community affairs. Are you comfortable? But you have your house. So I want you to think of the things I own. How many put money in my pocket? That's what we're working towards. Okay? And before I share some of those, that will be the last thing that I'm going to share. I want us to deal with this issue called debt. Sawa sawa? Madeni. So, good debt versus bad debt. Let's know which is the difference, yes? Good debt, why I started with the whole idea of assets, good debt goes towards what? Assets. Because if you borrow, and the intention is that that thing that you're borrowing for will start paying you, that's good debt. But if you borrow to use that thing and you'll never get a return, like if you borrow some money to buy a TV, so now you've borrowed, you've bought the TV. That TV, you have paid more than it is worth for the TV. And then it will never put money in your pocket. And you don't plan to sell it ever again. That's it. So if you borrow for an asset that's going to put money in your pocket, but if you borrow for consumption, you're going to be in trouble. Which is why Fuliza, branch, all those things are so dangerous. Because you continue to put money behind money that will never come back. Let me show you what I mean. So if I borrowed 1.5 million to buy a car, this is how your loans look like. If I borrowed 1.5 million to buy a car, which kind of car would I get? 1.5. Around there. An older Fielder, Kenyan used Fielder, not foreign. Yes. So an older one, 8-9 years old. Yes, Fielder. Sawa sawa. So if I borrowed 1.5, I'll get a Fielder. What percentage am I being charged now for loans? 20% for that, yes? How many years would I pay that loan? Let's say 5 years. So let's see what the cost of that loan is. Every month I'll be paying how much? 39,740. See, we round it off to 40,000 per month. For 60 months, I'll be paying that. And this is the number we don't pay attention with our loans. This number here. We'll pay how much in this is interest alone. Interest of how much? 884,449. So how much did I pay for this Fielder?
1.5.
I didn't pay 1.5. 1.5 plus 884. I paid how much? 2.3 million for a car that when it was newish, it was worth 1.5. Now, after 5 years, the bank, I now own the car completely. Yes, see, now it's mine. Very good. I want to sell it. How much will I sell it for? Maybe 700,000. Is my car an asset? In all of that, I paid 2.3 for a car that was worth 1.5. And by the time I finished paying for it, it was now 700,000. Have I made any money? Is my car an asset? No. Is it a good thing? Yes. It sits there and it makes me happy. Okay? But it is losing me money right now. Can we do another? We do a different equation. Can we do a different one? Okay. Let's say I borrowed. Let's add a little bit more. Instead of 1.5, let's increase. And we borrow 1.8. 1.8. Okay. Why? Now, instead of buying that car, the Fielder, we buy 3 different cars with 1.8. Which cars can we get 3 of them for 1.8? Inaitwa? Yes. Zinaitwaje? Suzuki, Alto. Hizo ndogo ndogo. Si ndio Uber chap chap. Get 3 of them. Yes? Take one. So you need to drive and to go where you're going to be comfortable. All of us have used an Uber chap chap. So you've seen them. See, they go where they're going and you reach. Yeah. So use one. The other 2, do what? Put them on the Uber. How much does an Uber on average pay the owner? Does anyone know? About 1,000 bob a day. About 1,000. But now you have how many on the road? You have 2. Times 6 in a week. 1,000 bob per day, because the driver will not drive for 7 days, 6 days. So 2 times 6 is 12. 12 times 4? 48,000. The 2 taxis will pay your loan while you're driving, plus change. $1,000 is the money you make minus service, insurance, all those things. Yes, minus. 1,000 is your money. So, you will come and park your Fielder here. Him will come and park his Suzuki Alto here. Between the 2 of you, who is more wealthy? But who looks more wealthy? So if we are so worried about what people look at us, we find ourselves in trouble. Now, can I give you the solution that I wanted to show? Oh, you wanted to see a mortgage. You want to see a mortgage for a house. How much is that house? Give me the number. Value of the house. Do we do the 5 million house? Okay, but, oops. You get a better rate for mortgages because they are long term. How many years? How many years? 10? 10 years. Okay. I'll show you. Can I show you the first one? The young guys. So you can tell your relatives when they're about to take their mortgage. Then I'll show you the 10-year one, yeah? So that young guy is going to take the mortgage for how long? 25, isn't it? 25. Let me show you what it is. 25 years. So 25 years, 5 million, 15%, 25 years. You'll be paying 64 per month for 300 months, and you pay 14.2 million in interest. So how much did you pay for that house over the 25 years? Yes. Yes. Almost 20 million. Sawa. Then the rent for that house would be how much? 5 million, you're paying how much in rent? About how much for 5 million? Yes? 20, 25? 25, 30 there. But here you're paying how much? Okay, let's go to 10 years. Now you're going to get the point that I was trying to get to. 10 years. Write this down before I show you the answer. Write this down so you don't forget. When it comes to debt, time is the greatest consideration. The longer the debt, the more expensive. So when you borrow, pay back as quickly as possible. In fact, pay extra. so that you don't pay interest. When you borrow, pay back as quickly as possible. The same loan, now not 25 years, but 10 years. Look how much you'll be paying. So the monthly cost goes up. Yes, it goes up to 80. But look at the interest now. Instead of paying 14 million in interest, same loan, now you've paid how much? 4. You have saved yourself 10 million shillings in interest by paying an extra 20,000 per month. Less than 20,000 per month. So if you can reduce the time for your loans, it's a big difference. And I know some of us are still in debt. And so you're wondering, what do I do when I receive my pension or I receive the money that's coming to me? What do I do? I'm going to encourage you, for many of us, clearing our debts may be one of the first priorities. And this is what I wanted to show you. So shall we go back to the car? Then we see what the effect is going to be. It's the same here. Let's say you still had this. Let me say you still had this loan. Yes? And you are paying for the next 10 years 80,000. Yes? Then you go, why did I tell you to do M-Pesa? We discovered we're spending how much per month on M-Pesa? 5,000 plus 5,000. Yes? Can I show you if instead of paying M-Pesa 5,000, you took that 5,000 and put it towards this loan? I want to show you what's going to happen here. Look at what would happen if you paid an extra 5,000 per month. Look what happens to the interest. It is significant. Not only have you reduced your interest, but also look at the amount of time. You have saved paying this loan for how many months? 120 to 106 is 14 months, more than a year, by paying the loan in advance. So if you have any loans, try and pay them as quickly as possible. In fact, put more money towards them every month. And it's going to reduce your total interest and the amount of time you're repaying that loan. Is that okay? Good. Now, let's say during this time is when you receive a good check, a big check. Yes? And you're wondering, if I put in the whole amount, what difference is it going to make? It makes a big difference, especially as early as possible. So let's say you receive your check. Give me a big number that we could put towards this without finishing the money. What's a good number that you could put? 200? 500,000? How much? 1M. 1M. So you're owing 5. You're paying that amount. So this 1M comes somewhere around here. Okay? 1. Look what happens to the total as it comes through. It reduces your interest from 4 million, over 4 million, to 2.8. And it reduces the time from 120 months to 85 months. It is significant. So pay your loans as early as possible. Because the longer you take, the more expensive it is. Is that clear? Good. Any other question around this before we finish up? Any other question? Is it clear? So time is what you want to reduce. So if you borrow, reduce the amount of time that you're going to go through. Okay. I want us to do a small exercise here together. Look for this. It's written part 4. It's near the middle, part 4. Your debt repayment plan. Part 4, your debt repayment plan. It looks like this. Make sure you can find it. Part 4, your debt repayment plan. It's near the middle somewhere. Part 4, your debt repayment plan. I can see most of us are almost there. It looks like this. Part 4, your debt repayment plan. Okay? It's written part 4, near the middle, your debt repayment plan. Keep going. Your debt repayment plan. almost there. Keep going. Just keep going. Keep going. You're almost there. There. Turn back now. There we go. Everyone found it? Part 4, your debt repayment plan. Okay? Yes, that's it. Part 4, your debt repayment plan. All right? Sawa sawa. So we're going to do this one together. We can go through it together. So when we're dealing with debt, there's a reason I told you. Remember we did the M-Pesa messages so that we could find that there was 5,000 leaving your pocket and you didn't know. What can we do with that 5? And that's just M-Pesa. Now if you add what you spend on the supermarket, if we add what you spend on TV, this was me. I found, so you're paying for internet in the house. Why not watch the TV from the internet instead of paying all these other people? Citizen is on YouTube. So I don't pay for TV. Sorry? No, but in the house, here's the thing. I am paying for internet and then I'm also paying for TV. So I remove the internet, I remove the TV and I watch the TV on the internet. That's it. Wi-Fi. You can even watch on the all these are smart TVs. The ones that you're buying now are smart TV. You just watch there. So why am I paying for that? Is this? And I'm getting even more. Anyway, I was trying to show you. If you don't even know that you're spending 5,000 on M-Pesa per month, what other money is leaving your pocket that you don't know? So let's find it. And once we find it, this is what we do. Come up with extra money by evaluating what you're spending, yes? Number 2, stop accumulating debt. A, borrowing from M-Shwari to pay Tala, to pay branch, that doesn't work. You'll always be in trouble. So stop accumulating debt. Next, you make a list of your debts. Then you prioritize and rank them. I'm going to take you through this, how to do this just now. And then on rank only, pay that first debt down, finish it, then go to the next, then go to the next. Because I know some people in this place, you have a mobile loan, you have a car loan, you have a mortgage, you have so many loans and you don't know how do we get out. So I'm going to show you how to get out of those loans now. Okay? All right, so let's go down to exercise 3B at the bottom there. So Philip is 58 and he has been overwhelmed by his debts, somewhere in the middle there, yes? They take up a huge portion of his monthly income and he's desperate to get his house in order so that he can start pursuing alternative investment. Philip has a net income from his rental properties and treasury bonds and other things, any kind of income that he's getting, 120,000, okay? Let's say he has 120. Let's look where his money goes, even from his current salary now. So he spends 20,000 on food or shopping, household shopping. It's not just food you buy in the house. You buy many things, 20,000 per month. His rent and other household costs about 30,000 per month, okay? Sorry, that's a typo there. It's not Felix, it's Philip, Just write Philip there. Has a total monthly repayment of 45,000 shillings for his debt, okay? His entertainment and self-care costs are 20,000. So entertainment, you know what I'm talking about for that, yes? And he spends 5,000 on fuel and parking for his car, the small car that he's driving. So let's look at his status, yeah? He owes 700 on that car loan, which is paying 25,000 per month. He has 2 now. He can either have a credit card or he has 2 loans, M-Shwari and 1 branch. 1 Tala, when you see credit card, it's the same thing. Those mobile loans cost a lot of money. This is 15% per year. On your mobile phone, you're going to be paying 6% per month. 6% per month. 6 times 12 is how much? 6 times 12, 72% per year. Those loans are expensive. So stay away from those M-Shwari, Tala, branch. You don't want them. Sawa? Okay. So he has 2 of those mobile loans. Where you see credit card, just say mobile loan, okay? And he owes 100,000 on each of them. And he pays 5,000 per month, the minimum payment on them. Then he took a personal loan of 300,000 from a SACCO or something like that, and he's paying how much? 10,000 per month. So what do? Let's go over to the next page. Philip has agreed to work towards clearing his debts. Let's get him out of debt. So the first part is he has to find some money. Where does that money come from? Your pocket, the same pocket that you're doing. It's that 5,000 for M-Pesa and other things that you didn't know. We're going to use that to pay down this debt. So look at his expenses. Can you see his expenses there? The food, rent and other household expenses, self-care and the car, yes? Where can we find 15,000 in there to help pay the loan? Where can we find 15,000? Where would you get 15,000? Yes. Yes. Or even in that house, if you start switching off the lights, I talk to my children, hey, why is the light on and you're not in that room? You'll save money on electricity, isn't it? What else can you start doing? There are other things that you can do in your house. Reduce water charge, all those things. Find a way to reduce. Even food. Even food. Yes. You make a difference there. Buy from a cheaper source. Yes. 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 So, what you have discovered, and everybody has done this, is, most people look and say, his entertainment and self-care is 20,000. So you can remove from that 15,000. You have killed Philip. Because now he's bored. And he'll never stick with it. So don't remove from just one. The same way, remember when we did in our budget, you do each one a small amount, exactly what you have said. Can he find 15,000 from this budget? Yes. So let's do now what to do with the 15,000. So go to page 2. Now this other side, prioritize the debt. Can you see the tables that are there? Very good. So at the top there, let's first of all, the first thing we do is to list the debt. So right there where you see loan, write what was the first debt that he has here. The car loan, right? So right there, car loan. Where you see loan, write car loan. This first one here. Write car loan. Where you see loan on that first one, write car loan. Car loan. How much does he owe on that car loan so far? What is outstanding? The car loan, how much does he owe? 700,000. Put 700 there. 700. How much does he pay per month? 700,000. How much does he pay per month for that car loan? 25,000. So write monthly payment, 25,000. Okay. Now you need your calculators. Some of us are quick at maths, others are not, so you can use your calculator. So how many months will it take him to complete paying that loan? So you divide 700,000 by 25,000. How many months is that? 700 divided by 25? 28. So that last column there that it says number of months to complete, write 28 months. So it will take him 28 months to finish paying that loan. Okay? Let's go to the next line. What is the next loan? The credit cards, Or in fact, let's call them mobile loans now. Write mobile loan 1. Mobile loan 1. How much does he owe on mobile loan 1? 100,000. Yes, you can see it on the other page at the bottom. He owes 100,000. I've changed it from credit card to mobile loan because none of us have credit cards here, but we have mobile loans. Sawa. So mobile loan 1, he has 100,000. How much does he pay per month? 5,000. So write 100,000 and 5,000 there. So how many months to complete paying that loan? 100,000 divided by 5,000. 100,000 divided by 5,000. is how many? 20. Thank you. Write 20 there. The next line is the same. Mobile loan 2. Right? Mobile loan 2. 100,000. $5,000 per month. How many months to complete? 20. Yes? Right? Mobile loan 2. We have changed it from credit card 2 to mobile loan 2. There are 2 credit cards. So now we've made them 2 mobile loans. Yes? So let's go to the last one. What was the last loan that he has there? What's the last loan? Personal loan. How much is outstanding there? So write personal loan. 300,000. Good. How much does he pay per month? 10,000. So how many months to finish? 30 months. Good. Now, what did I say is the most important thing when it comes to debt, to loans? The amount of time. So now, we have to decide which one we are going to attack first. Which loan are we going to attack first? And we attack the one that will take the shortest amount of time. Which of those loans will take the shortest amount of time? Which loans? The mobile loans. So on mobile loan 1, write 1. On that last, can you see priority? The last column there. So mobile loan 1, write 1. Priority 1. That's the one we are going to attack first. Which one will come next?
2.
Mobile loan 2. So write 2 there. We'll attack that one next. After that, which loan will take the shortest amount of time to finish?
Personal.
Look at the amount of time. Time. It's the car loan. Car loan. 28 months, and the personal loan is 30. So put number 3 on the car loan and number 4
Personal.
on the personal. Have you seen we didn't look at the amounts? We looked at what? Time. Because we want to. Time is the factor. Time is the one that is causing us to pay this amount of interest. So you want to clear the loans faster. Okay. Let's go to step 2. Can you see step 2 just below that? Now let's see how we do this together. On that first one, now we start with priority number 1. So which did we say is priority number 1? Mobile loan 1. So write there mobile loan 1 on the next column. Okay? Mobile loan 1. In the next, you can see it there at the bottom here. This part here is where we're going to write mobile loan 1. Outstanding is 100,000. Yes? We are paying 5,000 per month. Okay? So we have gone to the next part. Here you put mobile loan 1. Outstanding amount 100,000. We are just organizing what we did up here. 100,000. Original monthly payment was 5,000 per month. Are we together till there? 5,000. How much now extra? Now this is the part. Please pay attention. Please pay attention. The whole 15,000 that he has found from his budget. Remember, that whole amount, put it to this one loan. So don't spread it between your loans. Don't try and play some of the car loan, you extra 5 years. No. The whole 15,000 goes to this one loan. So how much extra will he put here? Right there, 15,000. Extra amount, 15,000. Okay? So what now becomes the new monthly payment? It's 15,000 plus what he was paying before, 5,000. That gives you how much? 20. So now for this one loan, he's paying not 5, but he's paying 20. Write 20 there in new monthly payment. So how long will it take him to clear 100,000? How many months? 100,000 divided by 20 gives you 5. Now, what would have taken him 20 months to finish, he has finished it in 5 months. All right? Now, here's where you have to pay attention. Just push your neighbor like this so that he wakes up. Whoever is sitting, push your neighbor. Push them to say, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up now. You have to be awake at this point. Because if you are sleeping, this part you will miss. Is your neighbor awake now? Now listen. You have to think of it like this. If you saw on the list before, we said you don't stop paying the other loans. You continue to pay the other loans at the minimum amount. So, while he was paying this loan for 5 months, he has continued to pay all the other loans for how many months? 5 months. So he didn't stop, but he was paying the minimum amount before. So what is the next loan we are going to attack? Priority? Mobile loan 2. Write it there. Now, mobile loan 2, we have been paying that loan for how many months? Before we came to this, we have been paying it for 5 months. Are we together? So we didn't stop. All we were doing was prioritizing number 1. So we did not stop paying mobile loan 2. So if we were paying mobile loan 2 at 5,000 shillings per month for 5 months, how much have we paid so far? 5 times 5? 25,000. So if we have paid 25,000 out of the 100,000 that was owed, how much is outstanding today? Write 75 there. So by the time we come to mobile loan 2, what is outstanding? 75. I told you have to be awake for this one. So what is outstanding? 75. Yes, so mobile loan 2, we continued to pay it at 5,000 per month while we were attacking mobile loan 1. So by the time we come to attack mobile loan 2, it has reduced by 25,000 because we have been paying. So the outstanding amount is 75 for mobile loan 2. 75 because we have paid 5,000 per month for 5 months. Are we together? Okay. So 75,000. How much were we paying before the original amount? 5,000 per month, correct? How much extra can we now put to mobile loan 2? How much extra? Why 25,000? Extra. I said extra. Extra. So 15,000 is what we had extra from our, remember we did that. But now we have finished mobile loan 1.
So we have 20.
Mobile loan 1 now doesn't exist. So that money that we were paying for mobile loan 1, just move it to 2. So now how much do we have? Extra 20. So put extra there, 20. So how much can we pay in total? What's the new monthly payment? 25. Right there, 25. So how many months to finish this loan?
3 months. 25 by 3, 75.
25 by 3? 75. So 3 months, we finish mobile loan 2. No problem. 75. Because we have been paying it for these 5 months.
Yes.
While we were clearing this one, we were paying 5,000 per month. So now it is 75. The original, we were paying 5,000. Remember what we had said, 5,000 per month. Yes. So write 5,000. Extra amount. Remember we have cleared mobile loan 1. So all this that we were paying for mobile loan 1 can come down here. 20,000. Not 2, 20. So 20 plus 5.
That is
25? 25.
yeah, it's 25.
Yes. 25 goes into 75 how many times?
That is 3.
3. So 3 months. Are we there? So how many months have we been paying these loans? 8 months. So after 8 months, now we attack the next loan. Which is the next loan that we're going to attack? The car loan. So write car loan. Car loan. All right? Now, how long have we been paying the car loan? You have been paying the car loan for 8 months at the original amount, which was how much? 25,000. 25 times 8 is how much? 25 times 8. 25,000 times 8. It's not 20,000. 25,000 times 8. 200,000. 200,000. So we have cleared 200,000 of that loan, which was how much originally? 7 minus 2. 7 minus 2 is what? 5. So write 500 is what is outstanding now. 500 is what is left. Because we have been paying it for 8 months at the original amount. How much was the original amount? 25,000. Please write it there. Original amount, original monthly payment, 25,000. How much extra can we now put? Because we have finished mobile loan 1. We have finished mobile loan 2. How much can we put there now? 25 extra. Put 25 there. 25,000 extra. So, how much is the total payment now? The total payment per month now, if you add them together, is 50. And you have 500 to pay. How many months to finish that one? 500 divided by 50? 10 months. Good. What's the last loan we are about to attack? Now we have finished the car loan. Now the personal loan. Write personal loan. Personal loan. Good. We have been paying this personal loan for how many months? We've been paying it for how many months so far? We paid 5 months for the mobile loan 1. Then we paid 3 months for mobile loan 2. Then we've been paying for 10 months the car loan. 18 months. 18 months at how much per month? 10,000 per month. 10,000 per month is how much? 10 times 18? 180,000. But we owed how much originally? 300,000 minus 180 gives us what? 120. So put there 120 is what is outstanding. 120. We were paying how much per month? The original amount? 10,000. Write 10,000 there. How much extra? Now that we have cleared mobile loan 1, mobile loan 2, and the car loan, they are all gone. How much extra can we put now to this personal loan? 50. Write 50 there. 50 plus 10? 60. So the new payment is how much? 60. You're having a moment here in the corner here. What has happened here? 60. So how many months to complete it now? 2 months. In total, how many months have we been paying these loans? Now, add them up. 2 plus 10 plus 3, 20 months. How long would we have been paying the months if we didn't do this plan? How many months? 30 months. And we have not even included the reduction in interest because you paid early. Please don't hold on to your loans. Pay them as quickly as possible. The greatest consideration when it comes to your loans is what? Time. Time. Clear your loans as quickly as possible.
Just to get the 15,000.
You have to get the 15. There's no other way. Guess what? This is real. How I'm standing in front of you, let me just tell you. Because I attended this class myself. And we were challenged and we were asked, what are you doing with your time? And I was challenged. When I go home in the evening after work, what am I doing? I go home and sit, I wait for the news, I watch the news, we talk with my wife, we say goodnight to the children, and then at 9 you watch the news again. And they challenged me and I said, what can you do? How I got this job? I started doing this part-time. In the night time, I would go to Centonomy from 6 to 8, every so often in the evenings. That 15,000 came from my teachings like this. After work. What are you doing in the evenings? What are you doing on Saturday? What do you do on Sunday? Okay, Sunday you need to rest. Saturday you rest also, isn't it? Sunday, what are you doing? I'm asking you, that 15,000 is leaving you through M-Pesa, and you can add even more by driving around. Hey, can I tell you one more story before I take your question? I was coming through Wilson Airport, and I got off the plane, and immediately, see now you call for a taxi to go back, to go home. So I called the taxi. This guy came to pick me up. I've never seen an Uber driver dressed like that. He was in a black suit, black tie. He looked so serious. In fact, I even had to ask him, excuse me, sir, you are dressed so well. How come? Are you going somewhere? And he told me, I am a pilot. He had just finished his flight. He was going home. What did he do? He switched on his Uber app and he became a taxi driver. So I paid him to drive home to his house. Yes, sir. Niambia.
Everyone here has different job. Like me now, I wake up at 3 a.m.
3.
And ending the job, I think just late night. You see? Do you think I can go to do another job somewhere? I need to do. So it depends with the job you are doing.
Correct.
Yeah.
Very good.
Oh, so that is why we say that now you can find another way.
Yes.
Squeezing.
Yes. But in your family, if your wife wanted to start an M-Pesa shop somewhere there, since you're working so hard, so you give her the money to start the M-Pesa shop?
Yes, but you know, for ladies,
Uh-huh.
that one now, I cannot go to borrow.
Listen, all I'm saying is this. Find a way. Yes? So you have a way. Find it. Whether it's to reduce, whether it's to increase, I'm trying to get you to do what? Find a way.
You know what I'm saying? That
Yes. You, how much did you find you were spending on M-Pesa that you didn't know? How much was that?
About 6,000.
6,000 a month. Can you reduce that? Yes. Can you find out of that maybe 4,000?
Yes.
Can that 4,000 help you to pay this? Very good. There you are. It's possible. But you have to pay attention, isn't it? That's it. So as you said, all of us are different. All of us are different. And everyone has a different position. Some have many children, some don't have. So do we say that it's that we give up because we have more than others? No.
You know,
We do.
They do that.
Yes.
But for us, jobs are so different. And our country
Yeah.
culture also.
That's right. But we are trying to change that culture because culture is people. And we are saying, as people, can we make decisions? Yes. Like I've told you, I made the decision about lunch. I made the decision about M-Pesa. I did. And that saved me the money that has allowed me to do other things. Can you do the same? Yes. Yes. Even now. Hey, you said it. KFC. Do you know the guy who started KFC, how old he was? He was in his 60s when he opened that shop. And it made him a multimillionaire. How many of you can cook here and come up with an idea? Why not? Why not? Why not? You have so much you can do. So much. Good. So I want to close on this. The investment planning in retirement. And remember we said it's the what? The income problem. Cash. Where is the cash coming from? Okay? So we've been describing it. I just want to repeat so that we don't forget. Real estate, when we say real estate, we mean property. So we have property for rental. See, I've seen a few people saying, I want to rent a few pieces of property. We'll talk about that. What does that mean? That you have a property that's putting money in your pocket. Hey, you have land somewhere that you own, right? That land is going to appreciate in value, yes? But when will you get the value out of it? So when we talk about land, let me explain what I mean. Gentlemen, I mean, watch this. Many of us buy land, but we don't know when we are going to sell it. We don't know how much we are going to sell it for. And we don't know who we are going to sell it to. So we have no plan. We just bought land. In fact, let's do my test, Steve. Let's see if I'm going to make it in this room. I always test because it surprises me. There's someone in this room who has bought a piece of land they have never seen. Anyone like that? Just raise your hand. You bought, but you have never seen. You have bought. But they are here. Stop talking on their behalf. Let's own up. If you have bought a piece of land, you have never seen it. You just bought a piece of paper. Hey, these ones are better than everyone else, Steve. I never fail. Hujaona, uko na title deed too. Hujaenda huko. Yes, Yes. We don't know. But I'm just saying, there are people, as I said, I have always found people, you guys are better than all the other classes I've been. But I always find someone who has bought a piece of land they have never seen. They just bought because they said, everyone, I need to own land. But they don't know what they're going to do with it. They just buy it. They don't know how much it's worth. They've never gone there. They don't know what they'll do. They just have land. That's not a strategy. Now, those people on TV who are selling you that piece of land, can I tell you their strategy? They go as a team like this. So they don't buy 50 by 100 pieces. They don't. They go to one place and they buy 5 acres. Then they do a job of getting title deeds for 50 by 100. They come in the next 3 to 6 months, they sell those whole 5 acres for between 30 to 60% more than what they paid within 6 months. So them, they're not joking. They're not hoping one day to sell. They get into it to do what? To make money today. So which one? When are you going to get the money from that land that you bought many years? So let's make a plan. So if your idea is to buy and sell land, buy and sell it, yes. But don't buy that 50 by 100, you're paying more than it's worth. You're better off going with a group like this. Just drive down the road here. Look for a piece. Get some young guys to come and help you. Sell it. But if you're just buying by yourself, you're hoping one day. Which day? For how much? We don't know. And last is my home. So you've already talked about my home. If you live in it, the value is that it saves you rent, but it is not free. So just remember that. Your home saves you rent, but it is not free. Good. So let's talk about it now a little bit more. So I want you to think about income earning assets. So let's talk about your two rentals. Two rentals. Rentals earn you about 5% per annum or per year of the value of that property. About 5%. So you want to see how we do the calculation so you can know and see that it is about true. Okay? So let's do it. Remember our 5 million house over here?
Yeah.
So we go back to that 5 million house. So what is 5% of 5 million? Can we do that? So 5% times 5 million gives you what? $50,000 times 5. Five times 50,000. 250. This is 250,000 per year. So now per month you divide this by what? By 12. Gives you what? Give me the actual numbers. 20,833 per month. That's how much you're going to be making. From an investment worth 5 million. If you are renting.
Now, it depends. It's a monthly rent.
This is monthly.
We have
Airbnb.
Airbnb.
Yes.
They will be different.
They will be different. How different?
Because that one is on daily basis.
Correct. However, Airbnb, you don't have a lease. So if there's nobody in your house, there's zero. Not that you can't have, even tenants can also, they can disappear, but when you get a tenant, it's more long term. So there's a balance between the two.
Also, location it depends on the
Correct.
location of where.
Correct. But in Nairobi and generally in Kenya, this is the amount you're going to be making. Are we together? This is what you're going to clear. So you will not charge them 20,000. Okay? You will charge 20 plus service charge and anything else there. But on average, this is what you're going to be making. On average. Sawa sawa? Hii ni real estate. Rental. Rental real estate.
You see that that's now.
So if you buy a house of 5 million and you rent it, you'll be making about? No, not minimum. So if you now buy for 1 million, we can do the same. So you do, if you buy some houses, some small places that are there, how much do you want to invest? We'll just do the same. How much? 2 million. Let's do the same. 5% of 2 million. Let's do it. 5 over 100 times 2 million. 5 times 20,000 is what? 100,000 per year. So we divide this by 12 and you get how much? 100,000 divided by 12? 16? per month.
That is on rentals. No.
That is rentals.
Now, suppose you compare this now the building, real estate. Now, if you compare it with something you go up country, that's now for a person in town.
Correct.
5 million.
Correct. Yes. Yes.
If you go up country, it's the same 5 million.
It's about the same still. In terms of rent, you make a little bit more.
Now, suppose
So,
I don't want to do that.
what do you want to
If I
do?
right now farming.
So we have not, so we'll talk about business just now.
Yeah.
See, that farming is a business.
Yeah.
So we are talking about real estate. I wanted to finish this first, but it's a different type of business. Because it has this, you are not going to fight pricing for this. The competition is too high.
Yeah.
And what you're able to do. So I want us to, I'll come to business just now. So is that clear? Expect about 5% in payment. Yes. Yes.
100,000 divided by 12 months.
Yes.
They cannot.
What is it? I asked people to help me. What is it? So you just do it.
8.3.
8.8.
Thank you.
833.
8.
333.
Yeah. Thank you for correcting the maths. That was what I was asking you. That's what you're going to make. So I know many of us were hoping that when we retire now, this is where we are going.
No? Yeah, that was too high.
I'm just saying, we have to think. What options do we have? All right. So I've invested here. That's right. So I have about a bit more than this in one place, and we are clearing just over 10,000. That's it per month. This is reality. This is reality. Can I give you another option? Hapa ni ati brokers hapana. No. This is real estate. Yes. Ndio. Correct.
So ile wakati pengine nimeweka pesa yangu hapo. Mingi expect nitapata pesa kesho. Na ikifika karibu mwaka mmoja kuuza sina pesa.
Correct. But this is not shamba kuuza shamba. Hii ni rentals. Umejenga rentals. Good. Yes. Yes. But they'll still give you an average around that amount. That's my experience. Now, the better is to have more. Why is it better to have 2 or 3 instead of building just one? Because if one tenant goes, you have 0 income. But if you have 2 or 3, each one of them worth 800,000, whatever, 1 or 2, if one tenant is not there, you are still making some money. Can I show you something else? Here, you're making 5% per annum. If I lend the government now, remember we talked about a government bond. The government bond, you lend the government money and they promise to pay you back at a certain rate. This year, beginning of the year, hey, by the grace of God, I actually invested for the first time in a government bond. Ask me how much they are paying interest on that one. Tax free. By the way, here you pay 7.5% tax. This one is tax free because it's called an infrastructure bond. Now, some of the other bonds you pay some tax, but an infrastructure bond, this is it. So, on average, right now, you're going to be getting a little bit more than 15% return.
So, can we work on the 5 million?
Yes, that's what I wanted to do. If now, instead of buying real estate, you did 18% per year, yes, times 5 million. Let's do it. That's what it is. So take your calculator, you do 18.46 divided by 100 times 5 million. What will we get? Now I'll do it with my calculator also, so we don't have problems the way we saw. So 18.46 divided by 100 gives you 0.1846 times 5 million. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. That gives you 923,000 per year. Yes, correct. So here, with a rental property, you're bringing in how much in cash? 250. The same money in a government bond is paying you how much? So let's do it by 12 because our costs are monthly. Then I'll explain the payments as we go. Divide by 12 gives you what? Per? The same investment.
So the hassles of property.
Of chasing a tenant, fixing their taps, doing all those things. Now, thank you for bringing up how government bonds are paid. They don't pay every month. They pay twice a year. So they usually divide this by 2. And you get in June, you get one payment. Then in December, you get one payment. But see, when you receive the amount, you know it is 76 per month. That's what it is.
How safe is your money?
In a government bond, in Kenya, the government has never defaulted in our years. The money shows in fact, it's credited to your account. Now, can I be as honest as I can possibly be? Can the government fail? Yes. It is possible. Is it likely? No. But is it possible? Yes. I will never come into a room like this and tell you this is 100% guaranteed. The only thing I know is God is 100% guaranteed, that one. And that one is by faith. But on earth, there is no investment with zero risk. So is there some risk? Yes. Is it possible? Yes. Has the government in Kenya ever defaulted or not paid a debt? No. But can they? Yes. Is it likely? No. Now, so you have seen what has been happening right now. What has been happening in the last 2 days in our country? Flooding. So if you build a house, those are your rentals, and they are taken by the waters. What do you do? So should we not build rentals? No, we build, isn't it? So here's what I want you to understand. This is what I'm trying to get. Many times we come at an investment and we ask, what is the risk? It's a good question to ask. But at some point, you have to take the risk. There is no investment without risk. Now, government bonds and real estate have low risk. And I told you, in case you didn't know, your money is already in a bond. If you have money in a bank, it's in a bond. Because all the banks do is KCB takes your money and goes to central bank and gives them. They get the 18% and they come and give you 5%. They are left with 13% for themselves. So your money is already in a bond, whether you like it or not. So why not take it yourself? This is a very good tool for retirement. In fact, I told you to go to central bank this week on Haile Selassie. Just go. When you go in there, you'll feel very comfortable because everyone is like you, gray hair or kipara kama mimi. Everyone who's there, because everyone who's there is in retirement and they're looking. Can I give you the best solution for all of us? Don't do one thing. Do more than one. So if you are 5, I would say take 3, put it here. Yes? Then the other 2, where do you put it? in real estate. No. Put the other 2 into rentals. So now you don't wait just for the government, you also have rentals. If the rentals, the tenant is not there, at least the government is paying. For the 6 months while you're waiting for the payment, at least the rentals are paying, and you have some balance. Have I given you something you didn't know today? Go to central bank today. As I said, this year, this is not something I'm talking about in general. This I have bought. I'm also not talking about in general. Even this I have bought. So now I have a tenant and I have a bill. I have a bond, sorry. So that God forbid anything happens, there's some income that is coming. Yes? You need somebody? Okay. So there's a association. Yes. No, I'm in the committee. Hey, wait. Hiyo ni pesa yangu. Hey. I am in the committee. Yes. So we did a project. It was, you've heard of off-plan. Off-plan. So it was just a field like this. And we got, I'll tell you the company, just because I've seen they've done a good job. It's called Harry Homes. Have you guys heard of Harry Homes? Harry Homes. So they had a project and they said, here, we are going to build. And they told us we'll build 7 floors. It will be big. That time it was just a field. And they said, start putting money. And we did. So we just started putting money. As we are putting, you are seeing the mjengo going up, going up, going up. They told us it will take them 2.5 years. It ended up taking just over 3.5 years. So it was longer than we expected. It took us longer to get the tenants. But guess what? Today, by the grace of God, they are finished and there's a tenant there. It takes time. Can you build yourself? Yes. Why not? One of our colleagues, I work with Steve here. Sorry, I didn't introduce Steve. Steve is recording, not you, he's recording me. Because this will be used for anyone who missed the training or for somebody else in future for the training of our trainers. So don't worry, they're recording just me. So one of our colleagues at the office, a lady called Joanne, amazing. They had that piece of land that you are talking about, you know, the family land. So they built a small house on one side. Then on the other side, they have built 4 mabati rentals. Because they're in the village. That's it. Those 4 houses pay for everything they need in the house.
So is there any difference between that and I personally bought a plot
and build? No.
Is there any difference?
In fact, if you know what you're doing with construction, if you know, you can even save more money. You see this, the amount that I was paying was because there's a company and they are paying other people. So if you were to do it yourself, you'd pay less. But you need to know what you're doing. Because many people think they can construct. Then you find the contractor who's helping you, you can lose money. So if you know what you're doing, you can make more. Is that okay? Yes, sir.
Okay, for the government.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So let me explain the bond first so that you understand. So if I put 5 million in a government bond today, if I put 5 million in a government bond and they're paying me 18.4%. So I've done that now. And this bond is for, where's my pen? The one that was floated beginning of this year, they said is for 8.5 years. Okay? For 8.5 years. This 5 million does not change. So what they do, they've promised me 18%, 18.46 of 5 million every year for 8 years. So every year I'll get cash 923,000. But my 5 million remains the same. You can write this so you don't forget. Government bonds do not compound. They are not compounding investments. Let me explain the difference. In your SACCO, how much do you get dividends What's the percentage per year? Dividend? About? 9%. Now, in the SACCO, if you don't withdraw your dividends and it stays inside, next year you will earn interest on the interest you have earned. That's what the difference is in compounding. Because in your SACCO, if you leave the money there, you don't withdraw. You know, when they declare dividend, you don't celebrate, you just leave it. Next year, you will earn interest on interest. So let's say, by the grace of God, your SACCO is paying you 18%, yes? And you left the money there. Next year, you will not have 5 million, you will have 5,923,000. And 5,923,000, you earn 18% on that. The next year, you will now have even more and more. That's called compounding. Okay? Now, here's the difference. With compounding, you have to do what? You leave the money there. Yes. In order to get that return. So for long-term investments, especially now, I didn't talk much about them. For the young guys who are 20 years old, I'm trying to tell them, join a SACCO, but don't withdraw. Remember to withdraw all the dividends. Then you're at the same place you started. But if you keep it in there, it actually multiplies. So that's the difference. Okay? The other benefit of a SACCO is with a SACCO, depending on how much you have put inside, you can borrow, isn't it? So that's a benefit of a SACCO. Okay? In terms of the difference that's there. But SACCOs, as you said, you're going to earn maybe half the interest that is there. Just simply because at the moment the bonds are quite high. They are quite high. But yes, sir.
What happens in case you have invested in government bonds?
Yes.
And then you die.
Yes.
What happens?
That's a good question. So in the afternoon, guess what? We have a special guest for you, a lawyer, who is going to help you to understand a few of these things about estate planning, about writing a will, how to organize your wealth so that the people who you want to receive your wealth receive it, even you, while you're still alive. How do you organize your wealth to take care of that? And she'll be able to advise you on that. But you can actually allocate it to the people who are within your family to receive the benefits.
But you know, it becomes very hard.
Yes.
To get to inherit somebody's
Correct.
somebody's wealth.
That's right. Yeah. And that's why I said, in fact, we had thought we would end with just what the section we're doing now, but we've brought for you a special trainer this afternoon who will be able to answer about the inheritance. How do you organize? It's a lawyer. She'll assist you with that. Is that okay? You're welcome. Yes, sir. Yes. It depends. If you know how to build and you know how much things cost, what we have said, yes, you know there are people who know where to buy stones, sand, and things, and they know how much they cost. Then there's someone like me who doesn't know. That's why I didn't do it myself. Because I really didn't. I'm busy talking to people here. I'm not in the field looking for things. Yes, I hope so. I pray. Thank you, Jesus. But that's the point. So you have to know where your interests are. If you know how to do it, it can save you money. But if you don't know, hey, talk to people who are. You can see places where Mjengo has stalled completely because they run out of money. Yeah, I've seen it even in my life. My brother was doing that Mjengo. I told you up country where he built flats in our home. Yeah, see, he's here in Nairobi and they're building for him there. Oh, did he not lose money? Almost 2 million shillings. Yes. And they're in court today. So you can't imagine. Yes. Do you need something? I think there's someone waiting for you. Yes. So, if you know how, you can save money. But if you don't, sometimes it's better you know at least what you're getting as a final result. Is that okay? Yes, sir. Yes. So it depends. So like this one, they offered for 8.5 years, but every month they ask for more money. Every month, if you go to the newspaper, there'll be a new bond. Okay? So you can get from 1 year all the way to 30 years. In Kenya, most of them hover between 10 and 20 years maximum.
No.
Yeah, 10 to 20 years.
Which, like, if you need it before the end of 8 years.
Yes, so like in my case, I bought this from someone else. So as I said, they are easy to buy and sell. So if you really need to sell,
Really cash.
somebody can buy it from you. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, but you can, but the benefit of a bond is this cash flow. Because now in retirement, what are you looking for? Cash. Yeah. So if you put a small amount, 100,000, then you're just making 18,000 in a whole year. You get what I'm saying? Yes.
Okay. After that period, will you withdraw that 5 million or just?
It all comes back. You can't leave it. The bond ends. After 8.5 years, they'll pay me back my 5 million. Now I can choose to buy another bond. Yes, if I want.
Which the value of change.
Yes, it can change over time. Yes.
So you can start with any amount.
So minimum for a bond is 100,000, what you said, minimum. But is there really benefit in that? In fact, if you're saying 100,000, you're better off starting an M-Pesa shop. It will make you more than 18,000 in a year. Do you get what I'm saying? But if you want just peace of mind, put a good number, a good amount, and it will put some good money in your pocket because it's for cash that you're looking for. Yeah. Sawa sawa? Yes, sir. Yes.
Is it better to invest kwa kitu kama hiyo government
Ama
kuliko kuingia kwa hizi insurance zinakuja inafuta watu?
yes. So what I've tried to show, and I want to show the last thing before we go, because lunch is already almost ready. That's what I'm being told. I want to talk about businesses. There are too many investments for us to talk about in one day. So I was trying to show you some of the easiest and best returns that are there. The thing about the insurance is, what are you insuring and when will you get the money back? So with insurance, you have to think about two things. Insurance means, if I insure my phone, what does it mean? If my phone falls and breaks, they'll pay me money to go and buy a new phone. That's insurance. But some of them have an investment factor. So that investment factor, I have to pay for the insurance and I'm also paying for the investment. So not all my money is going to investment. So some of it is paying insurance. Okay? So in my opinion, it's better to separate and say, I'm getting insurance, like health insurance. NHIF, now it's going to become what? SHIF, isn't it? I pay insurance. If I get sick, I just go to hospital. I don't have to remove money from my pocket. That's good insurance. Okay? Now, if I die, for example, that is life insurance. My family gets some money. That's insurance. But now when I put the investment on top of it, yes, I'll get a return on the investment, but the amount that is being invested is less. Plus, see, they're doing the work for me. So they take a commission out of my investment and they take charges for the times I withdraw or I put money in. So I'm not making as much there. So I would say separate the two. Insure. Yes, take insurance. Take health insurance. And now that you're about to retire, don't stop paying health insurance. At minimum, stay with your NHIF if it eventually becomes SHIF. At minimum, continue with that. Because let me tell you, I've seen it with my parents. Now I told you they're in 60s and 70s now. I've seen NHIF, it can save you so much money with healthcare. A lot. And many things are covered that you don't know. And after you've left work, it's only 500 shillings per month. Keep paying that. We'll see how much it becomes now with SHIF. Okay? So that's insurance. Now investment, when will you get the money? That insurance investment is for young people and they have to make a decision. For us in this room, I would say be careful. Sawa. One last thing before we go for lunch. Can I show you a business that you have never seen before? This one I want to see. And you're going to be my teachers today, since you're all in business. Okay. So we are going to sell a cake. One of you is a baker. I don't know who is the baker, but everyone who eats your cake tells you it's the best cake they have ever eaten. And they tell you should sell it. So you plan to sell it for how much? 1,000 per cake, isn't it? Good. Now, obviously the cake requires unga, sukari, maziwa, mayai, charcoal, all those things to make the cake. Sawa sawa. So it's not free. You didn't just sell the cake, you needed the ingredients. The same way if I import shoes from China. See, you have to pay for the shoe. I'll pay 2,000 for the shoe to come here. And then when I go to the shop, I'll sell it for, if I paid 2,000, how much will you sell it for?
3,000.
3 and more than what you bought. So when he does the calculation, you do your calculation, you find the ingredients cost you how much? 500. Okay? Good. So if I sell one cake at 1,000 and it cost me 500, what did I make?
500.
What is that 500 called? It is not profit. It is not profit. Can I introduce you to a new word? It is called gross profit. It's not profit. Gross profit. Why? Who baked the cake? Where is your money? Where was that cake baked? Where? In your house. Is your house free? No. If you are the shops, you have to pay rent there. Good. Well, how did you get the ingredients to your shop or to your house? Transport. How did you get it from your house to the person who bought? Transport. Good. Were you working in darkness? There was what?
Right.
Which is electricity. Very good. Did you go to the washroom and use water? Good. What are those things called? Utilities. So if I sell one cake at 500 shillings, I did not make 500 shillings. I made a what? Gross profit of 500 shillings. Why gross? Because down here, I have all these other costs. Now, even if I'm working from home, is my home free? No. I'm paying rent or I bought it. Was it free? No. So if I don't account for the space in which I'm working, I'm not making money. That's not business. A business has a space. And many times here's the mistake people make. I work from home so I don't charge anything for that. Then you say I want to expand. So you're saying I'm going to expand when I retire. So you try and buy. Now you go and try and rent a shop. Now you're paying rent and you had never accounted for it. So you start losing money. So put a price, even if it's your house, you're paying 20,000, so you're using the kitchen. So how much would it cost for the kitchen? Put 5. Sawa. Utilities, electricity, water, garbage, security. So you have security in your house. Somebody is helping water, all those things. Put a price for that per month. Transport, which you were talking about, put an amount for it. Marketing. See, you took a photo of it and put it on Facebook, whatever, for other people to see, isn't it? That's marketing. Was it free? Was your phone free? No. So put an amount for that. Last but not least, who did all this work? You did. So if you don't put a price for work, that's where most businesses make a mistake. You are not free. Guess what? You are valuable. CocaCola is currently paying you for your time because you are valuable. So in your business must pay you for your time. So put a number for your time. So this guy says, if I was to be hired somewhere to bake cakes the way I'm baking, my amount is how much? 40. Therefore, in 1 month, so these are all monthly costs. In 1 month, all these other costs add up to how much? 50K. So if he only sold 1 cake, he didn't make 500, but rather what happened? He lost 49,500. That is a loss. He didn't make 500. Because in business, we account for all these costs. Now, some of us have been doing a side hustle. See, you're at work, then on the side, you go buy something and you go and sell. That's called a side hustle. In that one, all these costs are covered by what? Your salary. But now when you're in business, this is real. So now that you know that, what will you advise this guy? What must he do? What does he have to do? Yes, sir.
He must raise the price of the cake.
Let's raise the price. How much can he sell this cake for? How much? 15? No, 1,500. Good. Let's increase to 1,500. So he has now sold a cake for 1,500 and he has lost 49,000 shillings. So what must he do? And first of all, even the customer who was buying it at 1,000 is now saying it's too expensive. So what must he do? He has to sell more cakes. How many? How many must he sell? So how many? That's what I'm asking you.
Even he's selling at what, 1,000?
Yes.
To sell for
How many should he sell? How many should he sell?
he should sell like
50. Let's see, 50 cakes. Let's sell 50 cakes. Wonderful. So at 50 cakes, at 1,000, he'll make 50,000 in revenue. Wonderful. But it cost him 25 because each cake cost him 500 to make. So how much did he make in gross profit? 25. And how much did the company make? It lost 25,000.
what should he do?
That's what I'm asking you. He should increase to how many? 100 cakes. 100. Wonderful. Now, he has sold 100 in revenue. That's the money he saw coming into account. But out of that, he had to pay for the cakes. How much went out? 50,000. But all these other costs in his business are how much? So how much has the business made? Wait. Hold on. Has not lost 50. It made 0 and lost 0. This is called the break-even point of a business. The business made how much? But how much did James make? No. How much did James make?
40.
No. He didn't make 50. James made how much? Can you see even his name is there? 40,000. Write this down so you never forget. Rule number 1 of business. The aim of every business is to do what? To generate or make and do what? Maximize profit. The aim of every business is to generate and maximize profit. The aim of every business is to generate and maximize profit. But rule number 2 is what all of us who have not been in business need to pay attention. What does it say? Profit is not your money. The aim of every business is to generate and maximize profit. But in business, profit is not your money. If you're eating profits, you are not in business. Business owners don't eat profits. That's what I want to tell you. Can I tell you what they eat? Your money comes from where? Write it down. Either a salary or a wage. See, we saw, what was James's salary? 40,000 per month. That's his money. Another one you can write down is dividend. Dividend is not the same thing as profit. Dividend, so that you get it, I'm going slowly. Dividend is a portion or a small part of the net profit at the end of a financial year. So you've just seen all the banks have been declaring their profits for last year. You hear KCB, 20 billion shillings in profit. Did they give 20 billion in dividends to the shareholders? They did not. Why? Because out of that profit, KCB needs to take some of that money and open 10 other branches this year so that the profit increases. So if you eat all of your profit, how does your business grow? So dividend is not the same thing as profit. Dividend is what? A portion of the net profit at the end of the financial year. And as directors, you decide how much to pay in dividend while you're making plans for investment. Is that okay? That's dividend. And then last but not least is sale of shares. So if you sell your business to someone else or you sell part of the shares of that business, that money comes to you. Can I give you an example? So like the former owner of Java, he was a guy called Kevin Ashley. The first time they sold Java, he sold most of his shares. He had only 10%, so we don't know how much that was. But the second time was in the newspaper. They sold Java. You know the Java we go to buy coffee? They sold it for 13 billion shillings to a group called the Abraj Group, yeah? He owned 10% of that business. So how much did he go with money in his pocket? 10% of 13 billion is what? 1.3 B. That was in his pocket. After he did what? Sold it to someone else. So that's how you make money from your business. Either salary or wage, dividend or shares. So can we do a quick exam before we go for lunch? Quick test. Quick test. What did we say is rule number 1 of business? That we are supposed to do what? What was rule number 1? We just wrote it just now. Rule number 1 was to generate, no, of business. The one we just had. Hiya, people didn't write. Hey. The aim of every business is to do what? Generate and maximize profit. Good. So can we go to James's business? Has he completed rule number 1? Why? Because there is zero profit. So what must he do? Increase to how many? He only has one small oven in his house. So how many cakes do you think he can bake in a month? Let's reduce it even to 150. Just do the maths. Let's do 150. So because he only has a small oven, he does 150. Sawa. By the grace of God, he sells it. Now, watch what has happened. Because we said the aim of every business is to do what? To generate and maximize profit. You guys have been working at CocaCola for how many years, isn't it? At the beginning of the year, do the executive, they come and say, hi people, all the best, do the best you can do. We'll see you at the end of the year. Is that what they say? Never. They come and say, we must sell 20 billion worth of Coca-Cola this year. What is that called? It's called a target. If your business does not have a target, you're not in business. Why? Because James now knows, having sat here and done this, I have to figure out a way to do what? To sell 150 cakes. Now, can you sell 150 cakes for birthdays, weddings? You'll be in trouble. So where can I sell 150 cakes? Who can I sell them to? Supermarket. Because supermarkets don't buy one cake. They buy how many? 10, 20. So if you have 20 and you find 5 supermarkets, you have hit your target. So if you don't have a target for your business, you're not in business. So your farm, what is the target for your farm? How many bales of millet? How many must this piece of land produce? Have you set it? Because if you don't set that target, even the guy you've been calling, you go and visit, will he know what he's doing? No. In business, you must have what? Targets. Because now James knows, if I sell less than 100 cakes in a month, I'm losing money. I'm losing. It is a loss-making business. So if you don't know your break-even point, remember I talked about the break-even? You don't know whether you're in business or not. Now he knows break-even is, at that point I'm making 0. At 150, I'll be making a profit of 25,000 per month profit. What did we say about profit? Profit is not your money. Why? Because if James does this and he takes out that 25,000 from this business, next month he can only sell 99 cakes. Where will that extra money come from? Is every month in business the same? See, some are up, some are down. So when you make a profit, if you remove that money from the business and the next month things are struggling, you're going to find yourself in trouble. So rule number 2 is profit is not your money. You keep it there. Why? Because next month might be bad. And also, you keep it there so that at the end of the year, next year, you can buy another oven. So instead of selling 150 cakes, you can sell 300. But most of us, because we have been employed, what do? We eat the profit. We don't even have a salary. So in fact, what do? We remove this salary here. So we don't even get money. We are saying we are trying to save, at we are making 65 and you go and eat it all. When will you grow this business of yours? You can't. So any question around this before we go for lunch? Please. Any question? Okay. So on your farm, here you're going to put cost of fertilizer, the seeds, weeding, labor, all the costs that go. Your time, because who is managing this place, you must put your time there.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
What about if you can reduce the size of your cake?
Yes. If you reduce the size,
Yeah.
will your customers be happy? So, you see, because like you said, Elliot's bread, all these bread companies, they are very big. So if they just all decide to reduce, remember they reduce from 500 to 400, who are you going to fight? There's no one to fight. Okay? Because they are big. But if you're just doing 150 cakes, if you reduce the size, yes, there will be some savings, but will your customers be happy? So, here you have asked a brilliant question. All of these things here are in your control. Just that if you change them, they have a result. Just remember we said if we can make some more money by increasing the price. But how do you feel as a customer when you go to the supermarket and you find it costs more? So you are less likely to buy, so you might reduce the number of customers. Now, if you know that you're going to be selling 150 cakes in a month, so you can go now and negotiate with the company that's selling you the unga, the eggs and all, to sell you for cheaper, so you can reduce the costs. So yes, all these things are adjustable, but the only rule that is in place in business is that you're supposed to create and maximize profit. And now rule number 2, so you never forget, profit is not your money. So where did you place your money? Thank you. Yes. Now that you have made 25,000 in profit, how much is James's money this month? 40. Good. He buys a new oven. So he's able to sell 200 cakes in a month. Now he's making 50,000 in profit. How much is James's money that month? 40. The next month, he could only sell 99 cakes. It was a bad month. I don't know what happened. How much is James's money? 40. So, no. As the business increases, you can increase your what? Your salary. But you don't eat profit. To maintain the business. This is why you drive down here, Enterprise Road. You'll see a company. Is the grandson of the guy who started that business. That business was started in Kijabe with one printer. In fact, if you go to the factory, it's there. The old printer is there. It's now a museum. That guy was taking me through, this was now maybe 7 years ago, 8 years ago. He was taking me through and he was showing me printer 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of them, each one of them 250,000 euros. That's a business. Yes. So €1 million in printers. They print almost all these magazines, many of the school books that your children are buying, they are printed there. But that's a business. And it started with one mzee, with just one printer. But he understood this. He was not eating profit. So that when his son came, the son knew what to do. When his grandson came, that's why Wahindis, you will not find them struggling in business. My brothers, see, because we don't know this. Most of us are eating this. Even me, I'm standing here because my business failed because I didn't know this. Yeah, I'm being honest. I used to eat all my profits. In fact, I made good money and just ate it all. So I came back into employment to learn this. Now I'm busy telling everybody.